Brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. The week in the NFL wrapped up in Los Angeles last night. An overtime game with the Chargers beating the Eagles 22-19. The go-ahead kick from Cameron Dicker, and then the interception Jalen Hurts throws at the 1-yard line. And that be that as the Eagles fall for the third straight game. 8-5 now on the season. The Chargers up to 9-4. Week 15 begins Thursday with the Bucs and Falcons. Locally, Giants and Commanders Sunday, Jets and Jaguars in Jacksonville. NBA tonight, the Knicks take on the Raptors up in Toronto. Former Mets pitcher Steven Matz signs a 2-year deal with Tampa. NHL this evening, the Islanders home for Vegas. The Devils are in Ottawa. And at the Garden tonight, number 5 UConn takes on number 10 Florida. This report brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety and by Total Orthopedics, the experts getting you back to being you. They are Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. It's 26 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
BT, the winter meetings continue on, and the rumors are flowing. Lots of baseball stuff. We'll have some fun today. We'll get into the football. Also, a special guest in studio.
Oh.
Bruce Pritchard. You know who that is, right?
Brother
Love. You dressed up as him last year after losing the Perfect Parlay Pick segment. You're probably going to win this year.
My guy.
Anyway, he'll be in studio to promote John Cena's final match, and then Monday Night Raw at Barclays on January 5th. So we'll have some fun with him. Dude, you realize he is a wrestling encyclopedia.
Oh, I know. I've seen some podcasts. He's tremendous. He's great.
Maybe outside of Vince himself, Bruce Pritchard would be the one guy that you could talk to about anything that you and I have ever loved in WWE.
We're getting into the weeds.
So
nice.
we'll have some fun with him in studio at 12 o'clock, and obviously keep you up to date.
Tomlin stuff later as well.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting to that, maybe with the Giants.
Keep you up to date on all that's going on with the baseball rumors. One thing that I saw yesterday, it didn't bother me because I think Michael King is a good pitcher, right? We talked about that, and I could see the value of the Mets being interested in Michael King because he's likely not going to cost as much as Framber Valdez or Ranger Suarez. Okay, and you don't have to give up the prospects to get him, whatever. I do think the Mets are going to have to make a trade. They're reportedly interested in Peralta. By the way, did you see about McGill as well, that they're interested in both the Mets and Yankees?
Yep.
Here's the thing that bothers me. I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm thinking about King, and I'm like, yeah, I like the potential, and I like the value. And then I think to myself, can they just stop with the former Yankees? How many former Yankees are the Mets going to be going after you?
As long as you don't get number 99, you can take pretty much everybody else, and maybe a few pitchers.
It might with Bellinger. Maybe Michael King. When will it end? Why are the Mets continuing to go after former Yankees? I know that because the Yankees have good players. Okay, King is good, and he's obviously a team removed from the Yankees, but good God, dude, everybody David Stern signs a former Yankee.
Right, so I know we're having fun, but does this really bother you?
It does a little bit.
Okay, and do you think...
Why did I even think about it, I guess, is what I didn't think about it until I saw that, the Mets are honing in on Michael King or that, and I'm like, God, another Yankee.
Well, listen, the good news is that he's actually one of the good former Yankees. You know, you got a great former Yankee in Juan Soto 1 year and one day ago today. Some of the other guys, a little strange.
Sevy, Devin Williams, Mendoza.
I was going to say Mendoza. Don't forget about Clay Holmes as well.
Clay Holmes, right. Converting him.
I heard people saying give DJ LeMahieu a shot. Some people on this station were like, the Yankees caught him. Hey, bring him in, see if there's any juice left. And they didn't do that. I get it. I think... I'm just trying to kind of flip that. And if the Mets were the team with all the championship and it was completely reversed and the Yanks are picking up. Now, I don't look at it as like the droppings or the excess on the editing floor. Michael King is a really good pitcher who, by the way, I would love to have back on the Yankees. The Yankees just don't quite have that pressing need for arms. So I don't know. Maybe it's part, and I don't get into this. Others do. So this is not me trying to be, whatever to the Met fans. Is it, the little brother syndrome that's kicking in? I don't know, but it shouldn't, because pertaining to Michael King, he's good, and pertaining to Juan Soto, he's pretty awesome. So you guys are doing okay in that regard.
Soto obviously is a different story to me. I just don't understand why it's so many of these guys. It was the latest from Feinstein that I saw. Michael King appears to be the Mets' top rotation target. That's what bothered me.
Well, that's the one word that should bother you when it gets too top.
Right. So
not former Yankee, top.
It's like that's their top rotation target, and it's another guy that was a former Yankee. That is what bothers me. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just taking it out on that he's a former Yankee, although there is a pattern here. Anyway, so Feinstein saying Michael King appears to be the Mets' top rotation target as a source confirmed that the right-hander recently held a Zoom meeting, so we had that. And then here was another one. This is Feinstein. I think we went over this a little bit yesterday, but Feinstein saying that David Stearns is hesitant to sign a starting pitcher, long-term deal to 5 or more years, which could take them out of the mix for all those top guys. Even Amai, like, that's where I draw the line. Okay, you want to tell me Suarez or Valdez, you think that they're going to be too rich for your blood? Tatsuya Amai? You're not going to go all in for him, where there's an entertainment aspect of it as well. Not only what he said about the Dodgers, not only the potential that he has, but also bringing in a player from Japan can be exciting to watch every 5 days. So where are the Mets? Here's the bottom line. Michael King's the top target. That is nowhere near enough for the Mets to turn around that rotation and fix that rotation this offseason.
I don't disagree, and I don't think that that's all they'll do. But what if I tell you that would mean that Diaz comes back and the Mets have, in theory, best set 8-9 bullpen in baseball?
Yeah,
like, there's different ways to build out this team. As I said with the Yankees, maybe you go and you make a monster trade for squad. I know we're talking about the Mets now, but I think we're like so married to this conventional way of building these teams that we lose sight of there's multiple ways to construct a championship team. And I think maybe like the Yankees can go about their business by having the best rotation. I actually said the century if things really work out. That's obviously a little hyperbolic, but you guys know what I mean. Whereas the Mets, maybe we thought that they would flood the market or their market with high-end arms where, well, maybe they don't do that. They get a really good arm in Michael King. You get more from McClain. Minaya bounces back. Maybe you make a smaller level trade for one more arm and you have a lock bullpen. Another way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of worried about Diaz coming back because of the rumors about getting McGill from the Brewers. Maybe there's a deal to be made for Peralta and McGill, which I would love from the Mets' perspective, but obviously that would take Diaz out of the mix and then go from there. I mean, you could forward it also, BT, to Alonso. You're right. Bottom line is there's all these rumors, and they're not all going to be in sequential order, meaning, okay, well, they get this guy and now this happens. There are many variables to where, okay, if this guy comes off the board, then we'll go here. If this guy wants to come back, then we'll go here. There's a lot of, well, they're talking to Bellinger and he could be a top target. Yeah, but if the Yankees bring him back, then what? Well, Alonso is going to the winter meetings, driving himself there, and he's going to meet with the Red Sox and Orioles. Yeah, I mean,
not unconventional, but doesn't it just kind of seem... And then, like, beneath him to have to, like, it's almost unfair that he has to do this.
Juan Soto wasn't driving himself to the meetings.
No, he wasn't. He was chilling back, and then somebody flew him in on the Lear jet.
He might have gone, right? Didn't he?
I don't even think he went. I don't think so. I mean, he might have, but yeah. And I don't mind that Pete's doing it. I understand why he's doing it. The Mets know his personality.
His market again is it's just not there.
I think it's going to be. I think he's getting through. I think he's going to get 4 years when it's all said and done. Maybe an option for 5. I don't think it will be more than that, but I think it's different from last year for a couple of the bounce back with the average, the qualifying offer's gone. I think that there's going to, and I think the Red Sox are really in the market for him, maybe Baltimore, whatever. But I think what Pete's doing is he's got to show his personality. I mean, everybody in baseball, knows what he is from a baseball point of view. I actually think it's a pretty smart move because I think he's a relatable, a little goofy, and I mean that in a good way, jovial, gentle giant who, if you get him in a room with, 10 Baltimore Orioles executives, he's probably going to make them feel really good. And maybe they do tack on the extra year.
I feel like the Orioles are a potentially more dangerous landing spot, meaning that the Mets would not have, would lose Pete to the Orioles more so than the Red Sox. This from The Athletic. Alex Bregman still appears to be the Red Sox #1 target, in part because of the defensive upgrade he provided over Rafael Devers. So, if you factor that in, Bregman being their top target, and they're starting to talk about defense, not so sure they're going to be the ones willing to go the extra year for Pete. Remember, the Mets are going to have a 3-year offer for Alonso, which I'm sure is going to be $30 million a year, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He just wants more length. And if the Red Sox aren't going to be able to extend for it, then who is? Is it going to be the Orioles? So we'll find out. By the way, the Pirates, the 4-year offer to Schwarber.
Yeah, what was the total?
Was in the 120 range.
Wow.
So if you do the math on that,
30-something.
Yeah. So
that's actually pretty. Congratulations, Pirates.
Well, it's a real offer.
It is.
Now, my question is he going to get more than that? And if he does that have an impact on what Pete's market could be?
Michael King get more than that? Is that what you said? I'm sorry.
No,
Michael King.
Pete.
Okay, I got you.
Schwarber and Pete. So if Schwarber gets 4 years, if the baseline is the Pirates offer for 4 years 120, and I'm Schwarber and I'm now shopping that around.
Yeah.
So you would think somebody's going to give him, okay, let's say 4 years for more than 145.
That would be the Phillies. Phillies will top that offer.
Or you tack on a 5th year.
Yeah.
And then what does that do for Pete's market? Does that, if Schwarber's off the board, many people expect Schwarber to be the first domino.
Yep.
Then is Pete in a more powerful position saying, okay, well, he got this.
I know what you're saying.
And now he's off the board.
I don't think so, because I think Schwarber's the better hitter, and I think Pete's, yes, I know Pete literally plays defense every day, but he's not enough of a defense. He's fine. We've talked about this.
But he's more versatile. I know.
I'm so tired of the same words, the same buzzwords, the same descriptions. We've gone through this a million times. Listen, well, it doesn't matter because we're not going to be here in a week or so. But if this thing drags, we're not. If this thing drags on for another 2 months with Pete Alonso, honestly, I don't know that I would be able to have the same conversation about Pete Alonso every single day. We know who he is.
Yeah, but it's been going on for years.
I know. That's why I'm at my tipping point.
Understood with Pete, but there is something to be said about having a team with a little bit of flexibility, meaning that I always was one-track mind. It's the DH spot. I've seen it successful in the American League forever. You finally have the National League take on the DH, and the Mets can't find one. In my mind, it's just go get the best hitter possible, put him at DH. However, I've evolved in my thought process along with the sport evolving. You can't tell me that the Mets wouldn't benefit from having a little flexibility with that spot, meaning Pete can be the primary DH, but he could also play first, where you can use different guys in that spot or get a different bat in the lineup depending on the matchup with the pitcher. There's a lot there. We've seen it with the Yankees, how Stanton, who is a primary DH, that's all he can do. He kind of gets in the way of other pieces.
But I don't think that the Yankees, and by the way, it would be nice to talk about tangible Yankee news. There's just nothing to talk about. Like, it's not like we're purposely avoiding talking about there's literally nothing right now to talk about. The DH situation with the Yankees is very different, though. That's a problem, and that's because of Stanton's inability to post every day and do anything but hit. He can't run, can't play the field. That is just that's the only option. Whereas I don't think the Mets should look at it that way. I mean, the days of the Vogelbacks and the Ruffs, and obviously Marte a better player than those guys, and Vientos some bright moments, but that position has to be solidified to me, and it's been an abyss since the DH was really introduced in the National League. Every year it's like, well, maybe you got J.D. Martinez, good pro, but
Dom Smith, come on.
Exactly. Dom Smith. Enough of this. Would you do this the right way? And I just think, and I think actually a lot of baseball people would agree with this assertion. I really do. Independent of emotion, strip it away, and if you can, I get it, I understand, because Pete's your boy. But I would much rather have, over the course of 600 plate appearances for Team X, if I had the option of Schwarber and I had the option of Alonso, I want Kyle Schwarber. He does more damage. He's on base more. He's a tough red bat. He's got a 900 OPS in October. Yeah. Pete's had some moments as well in the clutch, obviously. But I would prefer Schwarber. So it doesn't seem like the Mets are very motivated to go out there and pursue Schwarber with real vigor. They're kind of like kicking the tires. I think that's the wrong move. That's the name that I've said for over a month now. Like, if I ran the Mets, that would be, and then pitching, my primary target.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Lots of speculation, lots of rumors. We'll discuss it all with you. 888-808-1019. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Larry is in Westchester starting us off. What's up, Larry?
Hello.
BT, Sal, how you boys doing today?
How are you, Larry?
What's up, man?
I'm fine. Listen, a couple of things. If they can get Peralta and McGill and then sign a King or a Frame of Valdez, that's a great step towards solving that rotation issue. It's a good first step. Number two, Alonso, I really think that he is going to go back with the Mets, probably in the range, 4 years, $35 million a year, $140 million over 4 years. And finally, We need a left fielder. What do you think of this trade? It would benefit both teams, I feel. How about Brett Beatty for Jason Dominguez even up? I was impressed with Dominguez the second half of last year.
I would not do that, Larry. As crazy as that sounds, and thank you for the call, I would not do that from a Mets perspective. And by the way, that is something that Stearns was talking about last night, and Mendoza. Sounds like Beatty's going to be the Mets' third baseman.
I have no issue with that. Yeah, I like him.
Me neither.
I like him.
Me neither, but there's a big but. You got to build around everything else now. Okay, I'm fine with Beatty. So you get good value there. Obviously, you're not paying much. He had a strong second half.
Yeah, he did.
He could play a little second if needed, but you're seeing him grow.
Yep.
Whereas normally I'd just be like, come on, man, enough. But it shows you give him 2-3 years, and now all of a sudden he's starting to look like he could be a ball player and reach his potential. I don't even want to say full potential, but start to realize his potential. So Beatty at third, Lindor at short, Simeon at second. They have a spot available at first base that could either be Alonso, it could be Vientos. There's some room there. I mean, McNeil a little bit. We know Alvarez is probably going to be the catcher, so they have first base, and then they need clearly at least one outfielder. The other is going to be one of the young players, and they have Soto. So the Mets, there's a couple of big moves remaining just in that lineup, first base and the outfield, but Beatty's going to be their third baseman.
The Mets have a lot of work to do. This is not exactly breaking news. Now, I was looking at some projected contracts here for Michael King because that's how we started things up, right? Appears to be a main target for the Mets. One, spit back 3 years, $57 million. I would definitely do that.
Saying that's it?
Yeah, exactly. Another was 4 for $80. All right, I'd probably still do that. Here's the thing, though. Nobody's really factoring this into the conversation about the Mets pitching staff. And I understand why. Like, there's an urgency now. When you watch every Met game last year and it's 1 1/3, it's 3 1/3, it's 2 innings, and the guy's in the shower. Like, it was as bad as starting pitching as I've seen in a long time. So we know that they've got to address that, and they will. But I think that it's kind of being ignored. They could address that in the middle of the season. Now, I know that everybody wants to go to Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie, here's my number one.
Port St. Lucie.
Freudian?
Not bad, BT.
Oh, my God. That's like your thing, coming up with the name. Port St. Lucie. I like it. Hey, why not that 3 years ago? I'm running out of real estate here, Sal. Not material, though. Yeah. Anyway, I think that when you look at this unquenching desire, which I get, by Met fans to go locked and loaded to Port St. Lucie, this guy 1, this guy 2, this guy 3, this guy 4, this guy 5 in the rotation. People are failing to incorporate that. You could trade for Skubal during the season. You could trade for Skeens during the season. I know you want it now, but maybe if you build it out the other way and keep those trading resources, the Jet Williams, the Benjes, guys that they really like, and some of the young pitchers, maybe you can catch something big in the middle of the season. Nobody's saying that, but you could.
Joey calling from Babylon. What's up, Joey?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
What up, Joe?
Long-time listener. You guys do a great job. And New York is the place you want to be. I mean, Pete Alonso, we got Soto. We need a good back behind Soto. We got Lindor still. Would it be something if we could get Schwarber as well? I mean, that would be awesome.
Well, Schwarber and Pete? That's not happening.
Probably not, but we're dreamers. We want to win. We haven't won since '86.
Where?
We want to see a different team on the field as well this year. We got a lot of hitters, not for nothing. Vientos, Beatty, McNeil, they go hot and cold. So does Pete. They all get hot.
So does Lindor.
Time.
Yeah, I'm confused. Do you want Pete back or not? I mean, come on, Joey.
I don't know. It's kind of moving. We want a team that has a little bit more consistency, and I think that's the key. I think that's what they're looking at.
Sorry, Joey, go ahead.
And that's what I think that they're looking at right now.
Well, that's why I'd be open for, and thank you for the call, Joey. That's why, BT, I'd be open for anything. Yesterday, I told you what I would do, and I want to prioritize bringing Pete back for a lot of reasons, none of which include that he's been a lifelong Met or has the home run record. I don't care about that. I care about his production and care about his wins, and I think he could help in that regard. So as much as that would be the priority for me, I am certainly open. Same thing with Diaz. I'm open. Like, the thought of that trade for Peralta and McGill from the Brewers, that gets me excited. I like it. Well, you know what I'm saying?
I do. I've been talking about pitching. Yeah.
Not only are they both very good, it's just a change of pace a little bit, change of the look of a team that has failed for a long time now with this group. So the same thing with Alonso. While I want Pete back, I am certainly excited about the idea of potentially landing Kyle Schwarber, even though I don't think it's necessarily realistic for the Mets.
Yeah, and as much as I'm saying Schwarber would be my top target, I don't think he's going to the Mets. I think he's going to stay with the Phillies. And if it's not the Phillies, which I strongly believe that it will, I can see him going to the Reds. So I don't think Schwarber's coming here. And I got to tell you, if I'm Pete, I am emotionally at the point. I mean, you're making me go to the meetings hand in hat, knocking on sweet doors to sell myself. I might be at the point, if I'm Pete, I might say, screw you, Mets, I'm done.
Right, I'll take less to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, and I'll save money on taxes. I might get the extra year. I might have better weather. Might have better chance to win, whatever.
Problem is you can't do that. I know it sounds great, but if the Mets are the best offer, like the Mets aren't lowballing Pete. It's just that his market is not where he thinks it should be. If it is, he's going to be happy getting 5 years from Baltimore and saying, hey, he'll go back to the Mets and say, here's the offer from Baltimore. And the Mets say, well, we don't want to give you that. And then he can go take it. If not, you can't say screw you when you don't have any other offers.
No, I don't mean now. I mean, what you do is you collect the offers and then eventually you say screw you when you sign somewhere else. Correct. That's what you do. You can't spike the negotiations now. You've got to use the Mets as leverage, because if the Mets aren't involved in this, which they are, and you were talking about this as far back as a week or 10 days ago, the Mets' willingness to probably only go 3 years. Well, if that's the starting parameter, and I believe it from the Mets' point of view, and probably the drop-dead parameter, I believe somebody's coming with more than 3. So I think, and I've always thought there's a really good chance that Pete's gone. I say all that because if I don't think Schwarber's coming here, even though I would want him, and I do think there's a stronger than 50% chance that Pete goes, where's the power next year?
Yeah.
Where is the power?
They don't have it.
That's a problem.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll continue the conversation with your calls. Lots of stuff we want to get into with the NFL as well. Remember some WWE talk with Bruce Pritchard in studio coming up at 12 o'clock. Just getting started on this Tuesday morning. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
The fight against lymphoma, leukemia, and myeloma calls for the experience and skill of world-renowned experts. As New Jersey's only nationally ranked cancer program by U.S. News and World Report, John Thurg Cancer Center at Hackensack and Jersey Shore University Medical Centers offer innovative treatments close to home. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, and I lead the stem cell transplantation and cellular therapy teams in Hackensack and Neptune. We're proud to be pioneers in our field and the most experienced team in the region, having performed over 8,000 stem cell transplants. We were the first accredited center in New Jersey to offer CAR T-cell therapy, a revolutionary treatment that harnesses the power of your own immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells. This is more than advanced care. It's personalized, life-saving treatment from distinguished experts at New Jersey's best cancer program. Call 833-CANCER-MD to schedule an appointment. That's 833-CANCER-MD.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
New Jersey's got a lot of winter wow. Wows to knock your ski socks off. Wows to warm your soul. And wows to blow your mind. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Want to turn up the heat and turn up the savings this winter? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather, flexible pricing plans, an easy budget plan, and live 24/7 service and support. Go with your local HVAC pros at Petro for best-in-class service and comfort you can count on. Use propane? Ask about special offers. Go to petro.com now to get your $125 free heating oil or call 1-888-PETRO02 today. Propane not available in all areas.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score. Report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan as we're talking baseball. Hot Stove 888-808-1019 with the winter meetings in full effect. Red Sox. I'm just reading this from the New York Post here. BT. Red Sox have serious in quotations. Actually, it's not quotations. What's the other one? The single. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know.
The doubles quotations. What's the single one? I go to you, the grammar and English expert.
Yeah. I mean, like where they're attributing a quote? Is that like where they're trying to...
Where the word... So Red Sox have...
And then...
It says serious, but not double.
Not double, it's single.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the exact term.
Anybody?
Anybody.
Sorry, forget I asked.
Hello?
Anyway, the Red Sox have serious free agency meeting with Bo Bichette.
Okay.
I mean, if their top priority, and again, these are reports, we don't know, but if the Red Sox top priority is Bregman, and they're having a serious meeting with Bo Bichette, you do the math. I mean, they're not...
No, they're not bringing Pete at that point.
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think they bring in Bregman and Bichette either. I don't necessarily... Well, it's fairly redundant because you're not going to have Bichette play shortstop.
No, why wouldn't you have him play second?
You could. I'm saying you could. I mean, I guess they actually could make the money work. Yeah,
Bregman at third, Bichette at
I guess
second.
they could actually. Yeah, they could.
I could see two. Like if Bregman's their top priority, then I'm not sure whether they'd be taking a quote serious meeting with Bichette. Anyway, to me, it makes it less likely, or it seems less likely. You know, remember, they're having a meeting with Pete. Pete's going to meet with the Red Sox and Orioles when he drives himself to the winter meetings. And the reason why Pete's driving, we were joking about it before, but he lives in Tampa or wherever he lives in Florida. So obviously it's not a big deal for him to go to Orlando and show up at the winter meetings like a lot of players do. And he's expected to meet with those two teams. David Stern says not a big deal. We know Pete. We don't need to meet with him. Like, we already know Pete and where he's at. He's got to meet with others and see what other options are out there before coming back to them. So I wouldn't go nuts. But what I would say is it doesn't seem like there are 5-6 suitors for Pete Alonso. It seems, according to reports, that there are 2, one of which who might not really be that interested in the Red Sox if they're prioritizing Bregman and having a, quote, serious meeting with Bo Bichette.
Listen, I know they're doing due diligence as well. I mean, let's face this. If they put, all of their energies into, say, a Bregman, Schwarber, Pete trio, and Bregman gets something unexpected and bounces, well, then then you're kind of in a hole. So where if you remain engaged with Bichette, I don't know that you want to necessarily plug him at a third base, but I just think you do this just to keep the areas and the avenues of dialogue open. So if something happens unexpected, it's just business. I think that the Red Sox would be moronic not to go an extra year more than anybody else for Pete. Pete Alonso at Fenway Park would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I don't know. If there's a if you have an issue, BT, have an issue with extending for Pete, then why would that be different in just because of the ballpark?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's not like Pete's just a dead pull hitter. He hits a lot of homers. I don't know about a lot, but he can hit homers to all fields.
Well, that's, as Devin Williams.
Right,
but that's part, in a good way, that's part of the reason why Pete was able to get the average back up last year, and we saw very early down in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah.
There you go. Down in Port St. Lucie last year, that he was kind of changing his approach and letting the ball get a little deeper and hit the ball to right field.
Also could become
which led to a lot of doubles, which is a good thing.
Right. Could become dangerous for Pete or any hitter, like a lefty at Yankee Stadium, all of a sudden.
Trying to jack it.
Yeah, that's why we didn't worry about Soto, because he wasn't going to worry about the short porch. He's going to do his thing.
Same with Bellinger.
Yeah, exactly. There are certain guys you want to make sure you stick to that. So Pete, seeing the lure of the green monster right there, maybe a part of him would try to continue to jack home runs or pull more home runs, which can be a detriment to him. So I would just recommend being himself. But that's why I wouldn't get caught up in the ballpark. I think the Red Sox need offense and they could use the power bat.
Yep.
But I wouldn't just say they should go more just because of their ballpark.
But the reality is, it's the shortest fence in baseball. And I know, now, by the way, that being the case, what do opposing pitchers do? Well, they feed you outside stuff, so you can't pull it, although these guys can actually hook outside pitches. I just think if he played 81, he posts every day, so he's playing 158 minimum, God forbid something wacky happens. He's playing every night. You give him 81 home games, let's say he sits 2, so he plays about 79 or so, and, 80 times 4, 320. You give him about 320 at-bats or plate appearances in that stadium, I would bet for Pete to hit 50 home runs next year. What? I really would in that ballpark. I mean, not all in Fenway, but you know what I mean.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I'm not sure I would sign up right on the dotted line for 50, but we know he's going to produce with power because that's what he does, which brings me to this. What is up with the market? He plays every day, posts. First time I heard that term,
I know.
was with Omar Minaya on Baseball Night in New York on SNY, 6 o'clock Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
First time I heard.
They better start plugging that a lot now.
Don't say anything.
Can I be a guest?
Sports Night as well. Well, I tried years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I did when we first got teamed up. I told you about that. We can talk about more.
Oh, yeah.
I did. I told you to reach out to them. Okay.
I know you did.
Anyway.
You did.
So, Alonso, he posts. The first time I heard that was Omar Minaya saying, well, these guys post. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean, post? Well, they play every day. Oh, well, why not just say that post? he plays every day.
They're off. Here comes Pete, come down the left side. All right.
And Mendoza said it again last night.
Yeah, I know.
He posts.
I know.
So why wouldn't a guy who plays every day, like we look at Buxton and say, I don't know about Buxton, he's always hurt. Or certain guys, they're always banged up.
Yep.
He plays every day. And he has, even in some inconsistencies with the overall numbers for the last few years, he has produced with power consistently. Mm-hmm. How is it possible that he would not have a decent 5-year? It just doesn't make sense, even if you go back to a year ago. But especially now with the no qualifying offer and coming off of a big year.
The game's changed. I know in a lot of ways it's unfair to Pete. If this was the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, into the 2000s, Pete would have been handsomely rewarded. There's an emphasis on defense. There's an emphasis on foot speed. There's an emphasis on being able to throw the baseball a little bit. And those are things that Pete can't do. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's a righty. So those are the real reasons. And I'm not even saying it's fully fair, but that's the reason. And I got to tell you, the verbiage, I was jotting a couple things down, and I'm guilty of it as well. Oh, the Jets have all this draft capital. Can we just say Jets have a lot of draft picks? Jets have all the draft equity. Stick it up your behind. I can't stand this. And they even do this and again, I'm doing it, which is bothering me. So I'm the idiot. Because I didn't even invent it. At least if I came up with the term and I was saying it, I could sound like a tool. But at least, I'm the ownership of the word, which is worse because I'm just taking somebody else's stupid word and using it. Like we talk about the free agent. Hey, who's a free agent? The free agent market. Like we're talking about stocks and bonds. It really is. It's, you know what it is? Listen, here's what's happening. And it's happened a long time ago, and it's not changing. The infiltration of geeks in professional sports has led to a radical overhaul in how we converse about the game. That's the bottom line.
Right, because it's not just normal baseball dudes talking shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but Omar's an old school baseball
Omar's
guy.
Got some street in him, so he's different. I'm not saying that. Omar, that does not apply to Omar.
Also, some of the terminology, posts, I don't think is a nerdy term. I just think it's in a baseball term, like the dry humps. That's been a thing forever. I never heard of that before. As a baseball,
about the swings? Dry humps?
No, getting the pitchers up in the bullpen. Mickey
Dry
Callaway.
humps?
Yeah, you've heard this, dude. When Mickey Callaway was talking about you don't want to dry hump the guy, and everybody's like, huh? What are you talking about? They call it the when you get a reliever up but don't get him in the game, you're dry humping him.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I don't remember
I can't believe you missed that.
I was down the hole doing national stuff, so I just still followed the Yanks and the Mets. I don't remember that.
So that's
hysterical.
That is a term. I'll give you another one. Ron Darling on SNY sometimes refers to runs as points, which I've never heard of.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah,
Ronnie.
but for us, the outside, as much as we think we're in, on the outside, it's like, well, who the hell refers to? I've never heard that ever. Baseball runs being referred to as points.
They're not. They're runs.
But on the inside, Ronnie's not the only one who does that.
Yeah, but Ronnie's 65, 60 years old. I mean, Ronnie should just say runs.
I'm saying the players themselves, dating back to when he was a kid, probably I don't know about college or when he became in the pros.
Yeah.
Some baseball pros refer to
runs as points?
Yes.
What?
Yes, put some points on the board. Yes. You could ask those guys. I've talked to them about
ducks on the pond. I mean, I've heard of a million expressions. Put some points on the board.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Never heard that once.
We've heard the familiar ones, but even for people who fancy themselves as baseball livers like ourselves, like, I'm a baseball fan, been in it since 40 years, loving the game, all that stuff. But there are terms that I'm hearing, and I'm like, what the hell is that? But they're inside the game.
From Callaway. Just call it prom night instead.
Dry hump.
For some.
We don't need dry humping them. Got to get them in that game. BT and Sal, the fan, 880. It's true.
That is really funny.
Yeah. Look it up. We'll check it out during the break. Urban Dictionary, I think. Dry hump.
Callaway's got a lot of stuff, I'm sure, when you Google.
BT. Jeez. That's a good point. Yeah, he was maybe doing a little more than he should have been doing. BT and Sal on the fan.
We'll get back to the calls, obviously. Tomlin to the G-Men. We'll get to that as well. Hey, this winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and the optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated stylings, and they are sophisticated and they are stylish. Of the Lyric, they're awesome. Sal and I had one for about 5 weeks. Got to do the EV thing, charge it up, learned how to do that. I've been a Cadillac man for well over a decade, and I'm in my XT6 now, which I've had for a couple of years. And Sal, I know you like the Caddy. Pretty good stuff, huh?
Love it. Drove the Lyric last year, drove the Optic this year. You can discover the comfort of the spacious three-row Vistic as well. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
The other team, I guess, wins without playing is the New York Giants because now they have the #1 draft pick this coming April.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. So I wasn't all that surprised that Jeff Kent was voted into Cooperstown. His numbers at second base are the best ever. However, I am disappointed Dale Murphy, Fernando Valenzuela, and Gary Sheffield weren't also voted in. Obviously, the steroid issue remains very much an impediment for some players. Barry Bonds may be the greatest player ever, and Roger Clemens has those 7 Cy Youngs, and yet they were not voted in. I'm Boomer Esiason.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No! Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ Sense is a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
FanDuel's the number one sports book for same-game parlays, from points and rebounds to threes and dimes. FanDuel is the spot to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all on one easy-to-use, simple app. And right now is a perfect time to join because new customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, simple to navigate, and the best part is when you win, you get paid right away, right in the account. FanDuel, of course, the official sports book of us here at WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
I love elves. Hard workers, cheery bunch, but they can sure wreck a bathroom. Luckily, someone's always ready on short notice to save Christmas. The fine folks at Roto-Rooter.
Coast is clear, Santa.
Thank you. You may want to stick around. Santa needs to get in there. And away goes trouble down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
Now get out of my bathroom.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and
the dry hump conversation.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to the show. Hey, good morning, everybody.
Yeah, I'm auditioning. All right. In baseball slang, dry humping, I'm reading this from AI right now. Refers to
and this is not when Pete was actually humping the rail, right?
No, that was a different kind of thing.
I know.
I think that was a hip thrust, if I'm not mistaken. All right, anyway, which I got to get back to doing that. Maybe some more free time at home. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Come on, buddy.
All right, a relief pitcher.
Oh, boy.
A relief pitcher warming up intensely in the bullpen right at the end of the game, only for the manager never to bring him in. Mickey Callaway famously used it in 2018, causing some stir. So I'm going to give you a couple more on this because I think it's funny. Okay, I'm just reading this again from AI. Frustration. So the pitcher gets ready, relief get warmed up, couldn't come in the game. The frustration, the pitcher is left physically primed, but without the chance to pitch. A situation often called blue balling in baseball.
I was thinking that. I didn't know if you could actually say it. Of course, that's what I was thinking.
Just reading AI,
I know.
and then I saw another one. This is according to Baseball Dictionary.
He leads the league in blue balling, folks.
This is Baseball Dictionary. This one got me.
Oh, boy.
So dry hump, definition, baseball almanac here. Describing a situation with the coach or manager tells a pitcher to get warmed up to go into the game and then does not put you into the game. As Buck Showalter used the term in a 2018 televised interview with Jason Stark, quote, I'll tell you this. I don't know if there's been a manager in my lifetime that impacted more other managers' style than Tony La Russa. I never saw Tony dry hump a pitcher. It's a real thing, dude.
Man,
and
then, I don't know how I missed this one.
I mean, either.
Wow.
And then I got a text from Dennison Yonkers, our buddy, big-time baseball, big-time Giant fan, both San Francisco Giants, New York Giants. He goes, I don't know about the dry hump stuff, but Billy Ripken uses the word points on MLB Network consistently.
Why?
I'm telling you, dude, it's a player's thing.
Dude, I watch MLB Network all the time. I don't hear that.
Well, Billy Ripken, whatever. But still,
he does a lot of demonstrations in the studio where you and I did the show. Yeah. We were doing the home run derby. We were messing around like a bunch of 5-year-olds at the studio.
Yes, yeah, of
and
course.
Billy does. But there's actually YouTube video got cranked. Billy got cranked in the face by a line drive by. I think I showed you this once by Sean Casey. I mean, right off the orbital bone. It was just, I watched it 13 times in a row. I had tears in my eyes. But I think Billy's stuff with that is actually really good, and I kind of like him on the air too. I've never heard him say points, and I really don't want to. Why?
It was, when Ron said it, I was like, what the? But that is the thing. Lastly, on Billy Ripken, he wouldn't sign my baseball card. I told you about that.
A little ornery Billy was, huh?
I didn't ask him to do it. Somebody within the business asked him to do it for me. The famous card. That's what Billy Ripken's known for.
With the bat.
Yeah, the bleep face card.
Yeah, he's known for two things, being Cal's brother and having an expletive on the handle of his bat.
And apparently not saying points, but that's exactly right. Can you please sign
and taking wiffle balls off the schnoz.
Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't sign the... Casey's reaction to that was the best.
That was awesome.
BT and Sal, the fan. Let's get back to some calls. 888-808-1019, the number to call. John is in Staten Island. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, guys. Sorry to hear you leaving, but looking forward to hearing you when you... wherever you wind up.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. What's going on, man?
Well, I want to talk to you about Alonso. He hit that home run 2 years ago in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, or maybe not all of a sudden, finally he realized that he's got to go the other way because he was trying to pull the ball a lot before that. And then all of a sudden, or maybe not all of a sudden, he has this great year for him last year.
Yep.
So I think the guy has to be looked at as not a player in 2024, but a player, in this most recent year.
Okay, but John, now hold on, John.
Realize that.
Okay, but John, but why? I mean, that seems like a convenient way, and I respect this, but it seems like a convenient or an overly convenient way of you explaining why you don't want to see Pete leave the Mets. Why should he be viewed as a totally different player at the age of 30, 31?
Because he's not going to try to pull everything, and I think he's going to be hitting 30 to 40 points higher on average.
That's a guess.
And much more productive, just like he was this past year.
Okay, I got you.
Based on what? What makes you think he's going to hit 30 or 40 points higher? That's a lot.
What did he finish up this year? 250?
Well, what did he hit? Yeah.
30 or 40
points this year.
Yeah, okay, but that's kind of where his career average was.
Well, that's 30 points higher than the previous year, and in 2023 hit 217,
right.
So that's basically 40 points higher.
But but that was his career average.
Yeah.
The 217's an aberration. So to come back to the norm, I mean, Pete's batting average, and thank you for the call, John.
Thanks, John.
260, 230, 262, 271, 217, 240, 272.
Yes.
He's a career 253 hitter. If you told me Pete would hit 270 again or 260 something, I wouldn't be shocked. If you tell me Pete's going to be 280, 290, he's 30 or 40 points higher than 270. He's 300. He's not a 300 hitter. He's never been.
No, he's not going to be that 285 guy. My biggest concern, which is what I think complicated his free agency last winter, was that he really he was morphing into a very unattractive hitter. Aging, relative, a righty, slow, and a low average. And now that the average has been stabilized, well, now the emphasis on the power it should be, in theory, much more appreciated in the terms of a longer contract, because he's disproven the notion that maybe he's turning into this very undesirable 220-ish hitter with a lot of whiffs.
Yeah.
Look,
Pete Alonso is what he is. He's a proven power hitter that plays every single day. Now, at some point, and I'm sure this is part of the calculation from the front offices around the league, at some point, you have to think that that's going to go away, which is why a safe bet is say, well, we think he could do this for 3 years. And then after that, maybe start to not play as much, maybe start to decline a little bit. Pete Alonso's not going to play 162 games and hit 40 home runs every year. I mean, if he did that, he's going to be a Hall of Famer if he does that for another 4 or 5 years.
Well, honestly, independent of my critiques, he might be a Hall of Famer anyway. Very well.
I can't go there.
Well, I mean, he might finish with 500 home runs. I don't think he's great. I think he's good.
BT is halfway. He's got
Harold Baines is in. I mean, things have changed a little bit.
Pete Alonso can't be considered a Hall of Famer right now.
No, I'm saying if he keeps going, he has 500 home runs, he's getting in.
Yeah,
but
that's a big if. So let's do the math. I mean, how many more years? He's got 264 right now.
You have his numbers up?
I do.
Okay, so he's got 264.
Yeah.
And how many RBIs?
712.
All right, 712. So let's say he play. I mean, it's too easy to double it, but let's just say he doubles this. At that point, he's at 1,424 RBIs. I did that fast. I think that's right. 1,424 ribbies, and at that point, more than 500 home runs.
Yeah, but he's in. So he's already had 7 years. So he's got to give you another 7 of that type of production, in which he's going to be this year 31. He's already 31 right now. He just turned 31 a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, Pete!
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So he's 31.
Happy birthday, Pete! Now go knock on every door in every suite, begging for a 5-year deal. That's weak.
Looking for a gift. He's 30. He'll be his 31 season. You're telling me that over the next 7 seasons, you think he's going to be able to hit another 200? What does he need? Another 236
I'm not worried about the home runs. Now, and I'm going to do this for you.
If he gets to 500, then I guess he would.
Yeah, of course.
Especially doing it cleanly. You know what I mean?
Well, that's my point.
But
we've got to, and
but there's a long way to go.
I understand. That's the halfway point. You and I and others our age that grew up with a certain standard, we have had to modify what we view the Hall of Fame as. And guys like I forget about all the names like the Cobbs and the Aarons and the Ruths. I don't mean those names, but like when we were growing up, and me more with Mike Schmidt, the next generation after that.
Slightly after that.
Yeah, slightly, but like the Maddixes and guys like that, and obviously Bonds and some of the steroid players, obviously A-Rod, phenomenal, Jeter. Like, that is the standard in our mind because that's a continuation of the greatness that was uncompromised when we thought about the Hall of Fame as kids. But it's clearly changed. And if Pete hits 500 bombs and they don't put him in, I'll break the doors down and put him in. But I'm not even a massive fan.
But A, that is a big, big if.
I get that.
B, look at his numbers now. To say that if right now, based on what he did, there's no way to me that I would consider him a Hall of Famer. Never had a top 5 MVP finish. Very few bold. I mean, there's a couple. Led the league in doubles this year. Led the league in ribbies in 2022. Led the league in homers in 2019. Come on. I mean, a Hall of Famer? I'm not saying he's not a proven power hitter. And maybe he can get to 500, and then maybe that will be the ticket in. And if that's the case, even more so that the Mets and others should be looking to get him for 5 years. Think about it. You're saying that he's going to replicate the production that he's had over the course of another 7 years, which would get him into the Hall of Fame. Well, then why not commit 5 more years to him? Teams don't even want to do that, it seems.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's a real it's a head scratcher here.
Doesn't mean it's right, by the way, that the other team could be a miss.
Agreed. All right, so I'll do this fast, all right? So, because you start thinking 6, 7 years, that's who the hell knows. But 31, 32, 33, 34 of age. Do you think that he will average 40 home? That's a little ambitious. But you want to say average
35. Give me in the middle.
The math's tougher. Give me an even 40, will you? Let's go 40
I'll give you
times
40,
4 at
okay.
160, all right? Now, he's got 264. If he hits 160, and by the way, he could do like 51 year and then 37 another. So I'm saying the average of 40. So you're talking about, so that's 160 to what he already has. Sal, at that point, he's already at 424 RBIs. He's 34 years old.
Yeah, how many? But that's a big if.
But it's just replicating what he's done already.
How many years did you say that?
4. The next 4 years, 31, 32, 33, 34.
Right, but you want 40. You want to average 40 home runs a year.
Yeah, but even if he has 1 year where he has 35, where he gets hurt, he has 32. He's gonna especially if he goes to Boston, he's gonna hit 50 home runs 1 year.
Over the last 4 years, he's almost averaged 40 on the button.
There you go.
40, 46, 34, and then 38. So he's too shy of averaging 40.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you go to the math, 7 years, if you just say 30 home runs a year,
it's 210.
Yeah, exactly. You think that he's going to...
That's 210, you said, and that's shy.
That's 30. And he has never hit less than 34.
So you're with me. You think he's going to get 500.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like he's 36. He's 30.
He can hit 45 home runs. He can hit 45 home runs in one season. He could hit 45 home runs in one season.
Age 31 season coming up. So that's my premise from before is the same. Because I said age 31, 32, 33, 34.
Ah, God. Gary Sheffield.
You're with me on the math.
Yeah.
You're obviously with me. If he gets there, he's a Hall of Famer.
You think Pete's a Hall of Famer?
Oh, no doubt.
If he gets there.
Which is the stupid thing here, is that we're sitting here going, he can't be, no one could sign him more than 3 years. The guy will be a Hall of Famer after he hits his number 500 home run.
I agree with that.
Why are we doing this to this guy?
I'm not.
It's everybody
I got to draw the line.
He's not there yet. That's
why.
why.
I want Alonso back. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Oh, come on. Is Gary Sheffield a Hall of Famer?
Who?
Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield.
He's not in.
Gary Sheffield is a better player than Pete Alonso.
Okay, and he has 500 home runs, and he should be in the Hall of Fame, right?
All right, but the question is the PED stuff.
Yes.
So Don Mattingly was so far better than Pete Alonso. It's not even worth discussing. It's not disparaging Pete. Mattingly at his peak. Come on. Like, it's not even a conversation.
No, it's not. But now this is a very unconventional way of looking at it. Let's take Mattingly's 5 peak years, right? Let's look at Mattingly's career and Pete's career and look at it from an investment portfolio point of view. Those 5 years, it's like you have Apple and Beta, and like it's just your return is not 8-9%, you're 30, 40, 60%. You're raking in the money. And then all of a sudden it's stabilized, and then the back goes, and then all of a sudden, and I'm not even going to incorporate dividends. That'll complicate this too much. But then for Mattingly's portfolio, it goes from the Apple stock or whatever amazing stock, Tesla, whatever it might be, to something much less desirable, and you lose some of the money that you gained as it exploded over the 5 years. Where with Pete, because he had 53, which broke the rookie mark from Judge his first year, it starts out as a soaring stock, and because his lows never went as low as Donnie's did, he's going to maintain more value and actually make more money over his career.
I know.
I mean, Donnie, don't make me go against Donnie here. But
I'm not. But
BT 288 with no power for a couple of years.
So
hit 256 one year when he urged back.
Alonso, Rookie of the Year, 5-time All-Star. One of those years was BS. But anyway, Rookie of the Year.
A lot of those guys you could say that
Rookie
about.
Rookie of the Year, 5-time All-Star,
right.
Silver Slugger, 2-time Home Run Derby champ.
I don't care about the Home Run Derby means nothing. It's stupid.
MVP.
Understood. Batting title.
Batting title.
Second place in the MVP.
9-time Gold Glove. 3-time Silver Slugger. Like, he's had at least 2 top 5. Look, and they're totally different players. Pete Alonso is a better power hitter than Don Mattingly was. That's just what he does.
He's also more physically reliable. He played more.
I know. I'm sorry. I just don't look at Pete Alonso.
Listen, I get it. This is also a massive.
And I want him back, and you don't. That's the irony here.
Well,
I want the Mets to bring him back, and you don't.
I know, but I'm just trying to be fair to the conversation, and so are you. So we can think one thing, but when then something else presents itself, like a Hall of Fame, again, based on a massive, fudging of numbers, anticipation of certain benchmarks. Pete Alonso, if he gets in with 500 home runs, he's getting into the Hall of Fame.
You think he's going to hit 500?
Yeah, I do.
And if he does, he's probably going to be.
And he's going to be, 12, 13, 1,400 RBI. Yes.
If that's the case, even more reason for the Mets to extend beyond their 3-year absurd offer. I told you what I would do, man. I would have given him 6,180 from the beginning of the year. People are like, I wouldn't do that. And now it looks like that's going to be way overboard. I don't care. Would have locked him up here, would have been a lifelong Met, and away you go, and you don't have to worry about it. Now they're playing, free agent footsie here, and the chance that he might go to Baltimore, he's going to go hit 500 in another uniform. See, that would mean something to me. I don't get caught up in the emotion, the homegrown Met, the meaningless all-time record, whatever pedestrian record it is for the Mets with the franchise.
Strawberry,
home runs. 500 is a different animal.
Different.
For a homegrown guy to hit 500 homers on his way to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
That's different if you project years out. But I still wouldn't do it based off of that. I do it because if there are people who believe he's going to hit 500 homers, and that's the one thing that Pete you can count on with is the power, then he's got to do that in a Met uniform.
The guy's getting in. Again, if he hits those numbers,
it's a big if.
Well, I know. But
can I just compare you to somebody that just got elected to the Hall of Fame? From ages 31 to 40.
That's when Kent did his damage.
Yeah, but he was also in the Balco labs potentially out in San Francisco.
Well, we don't know that.
That's why I said potentially.
We don't. I
think I said the same thing.
We don't know that, but what we do know is he never had the power numbers ever before.
Interesting coincidence.
And who are the other players that have produced those type numbers as they get older? Bonds comes to mind.
Everybody who's been implicated in the wrong stuff.
I mean, come on.
David Ortiz didn't do much with the Twins early on. He played 6 years in Minnesota. He was a platoon guy. David Ortiz.
Even Sheffield, all those guys that were raking and putting up 35 and 100 or 40 and 100, age 35, 36, 37. That doesn't happen anymore. Guys used to age better back then. I wonder how that was. Now, I'm not saying Ken did anything. I don't know, but it's just odd to look at the disparity in numbers. And forget even the disparity, the fact that he could produce those numbers at a high level as he got older is absurd. It just doesn't add up.
He's going to get in if he does that. If he does what we just said he could do, and we just did the math for you. It's going to be impossible for a young baseball fan like my son or your daughter down the road or Recco's kids, whatever it might be. If you go to baseballreference.com in the year 2042 and you see, Pete Alonso, and because he's already done this, 37.94, 53, 120, 40, 131, 46, 118, 38, 126, and he's got 3, 4, 5 more years like that, I guarantee he's a first ballot guy, let alone just getting in, and he should be at that point.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. Talk some football next hour as well. 888-808-1019. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Jerry Recco.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports
Brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com certainly has been thought of, but John Heyman this morning in an article in the New York Post saying the Dodgers seem to have serious interest in signing Edwin Diaz, as do the Blue Jays. We know that. Diaz opting out of his contract with the Mets a few weeks ago, becoming a free agent. Speaking of the Blue Jays, Aaron Boone on Monday, knowing Toronto is still going to be a challenge going forward.
They obviously were a great team last year and, an eyelash away from winning a world championship. So they certainly proved to be the better team this year, and hopefully, we can close that gap and pass them and others this year.
Boone from baseball's winter meetings. The Chargers beat the Eagles in overtime 22-19 to wrap up Week 14 in the NFL. On Sunday, Jets and Jaguars in Jacksonville. The Giants take on the Commanders. The Knicks are in Toronto tonight to play the Raptors, part of the NBA Cup. NHL tonight, the Devils in Ottawa. The Islanders home for Vegas. At the Garden, number 5 UConn plays number 10 Florida, and Columbia tonight takes on Stony Brook. This report brought to you by New York City Small Business Services and by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire, nobody. Current temperature brought to you by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Make your holidays memorable in Lexus from Ray Cattina. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here. Drive home luxury in a GX or TX with class-leading storage. Celebrate the season in style at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. It's 28 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Since January of 2022, the City of New York has awarded $24 billion in contracts to MWBEs, the most of any U.S. city or state in the nation. Build your business with the City of New York by going to nyc.gov/MWBEs.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
PT Tell back on the fan. 888-808-1019, the number to call. We'll continue the conversation with the baseball hot stove. We'll have Bruce Pritchard in studio. Really looking forward to that. You know, I've been a huge fan of his for years. You know, you love him, you hate him. His brother loved years ago, but I was really, as a kid in my prime, fandom as a WWE fan or WWF fan. Brother Love was a very impactful character for me.
Really?
Oh my God!
I couldn't stand it. I wanted to put my fist through the TV.
Yeah,
He annoyed me.
but that's the thing.
Yeah, no, I know. He
Yes.
got under your skin.
He was one of those guys, though, back in that time that was Brother Love, and you hear the music hit and boom. So and Bruce Pritchard, you know, as you learn years later, all the stuff that went on behind the scenes on his podcast that he has. So and now back with the WWE in a creative role. So he is as great a person you could talk to outside of Vince McMahon himself about the ins and outs of WWE over the last 30, 40 years.
So another guy that I know is really tapped into the history is Cornette, right?
Yeah, he's another one who's great.
Yes. Are they similar in terms of the history?
I think they're very good friends. Not only
they are.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. This is going to be fun.
They both have great personality. And Cornette, I'd love to have on at some point too, but I worry about him cursing and things like that.
I've seen a lot of stuff. He's done like the Dark Side of the Ring. He's done a lot of that stuff on Vice.
He'd be a better guest to have on, let's say
a new show.
Well, like a podcast, the Salicata Show podcast or something like that.
Yeah, I
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, Cornette is funny. So, we'll have Bruce Pritchard in studio, 12 o'clock. The football game last night, I guess the one thing I wasn't thinking with that game, and maybe it's still impossible, was that because the Eagles lost, and they are just going the wrong way. They've now lost 3 in a row all of a sudden.
They're going nowhere.
Yeah, they look like a mess. I mean, this is similar to what happened a couple years ago where I thought they were going to fire Sirianni at the end of the year. Chargers with Herbert with a broken left hand or whatever. He's still out there playing well. I mean, Chargers look pretty good at 9-4 right now. But I think Dallas maybe still has a chance to win the division. I got to look this over. All right. There's one.
That last game against Detroit, I think it killed them.
Well, here's the thing.
Philly's got an easy schedule.
Okay, but they play the Commanders potentially with Jaden Daniels back.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, I got the Cowboys schedule. You have Phillies?
I'll get Phillies up here.
Okay. Home against the Vikings. Is that this Thursday? 12-14?
Yes, I believe it is.
No, that is. So. When is 12-14?
It's got to be this. No,
Sunday night.
Yes, Sunday.
Sunday night. Okay, I'm sorry. Sunday night. So what is the Thursday game? We got to look that up. Sunday night, it's the Cowboys and Vikings. Cowboys going to win that game.
No
the
question. All right, let's take me here for a second.
That's all right.
Let's see. Philly.
Then they got the Chargers at home. Tough game, but okay, winnable game.
1-1 probably.
At Washington, at the Giants. Now they're going to have to run the table.
What if they go 3-1? If they go 3-1, they're 9-6-1 at that point.
Right.
Or 9-7-1. Pardon me. And then if they're 9-7-1, let me give you Phillies now. I believe Philly's got the Commanders twice. I know maybe the Raiders. They've got an easy game coming up for sure. All right. Yeah, they've got the Raiders at home. They got the Commanders twice. They've got up in Buffalo as well. So
that's their 4? Two against the Commanders. Well, if they win, okay, so let's say, go ahead, beat the Raiders.
So
that gets them 9.
Here's where it could get interesting. If Dallas is able to get hot and run things,
they have to. That's what. And get them. So they go 10-6-1.
Okay, so that's Dallas there. So now let's give it a win against the Raiders for the next game for the Eagles. Let's say they were to lose in Washington that Saturday before Christmas. Well, now they've got to go up to Buffalo, who's going to be playing for something for supremacy, top seeds. It's not like it's a sit down game. I would think that they would lose that game. It makes a must-win game against the Commanders with Jaden Daniels in all probability fully healthy and back.
But that would still wait. Now hold on a second.
Vegas win.
Yeah, that gets them to 9.
I'm saying if they lose the Commanders, so give them a lose. They're still at 9. A loss. They're still at 9.
Lose
up
to
in Buffalo 9. And then if they beat the Commanders, that would obviously be 10, but no lock here.
No, but
the way they're playing.
And then Dallas would, even if they get to 10, Dallas wins because they'd have the tiebreaker. No. Because Dallas is 10-6-1.
Oh, that's right.
Philadelphia. Yeah. So Philadelphia, if Dallas wins 4 in a row, so now that makes me think if Dallas won. If they went 3-1 and had 9-7-1, right? Philly's going to get to 10. That's the way. It wouldn't be 9-6. Well, you would think Philly's going to win more than just one game. Philly would probably go 2-2, which gets them to 10-7. Mm-hmm. And if Dallas could go 4-0,
that gets them to 10.
10-6-1.
Yes,
that's the path.
That's it. Yes,
so Dallas would have to run the table, which is there's not an impossible game in there.
Give me their 4 games again.
Home against the Vikings.
Win.
Home against the Chargers.
Flip.
At Commanders.
Flip.
At Giants.
Win.
But those are not like, oh, that's a loss.
I hear you.
Like Philadelphia, I don't think they're beating Buffalo. Philly's going the wrong way.
I know they are.
And if Jaden Daniels come back, who said they couldn't lose both those games to Washington?
Dude, I know they've had a couple of games non-prime time. The last 3 primetime games that I've seen with Philly, I mean, they just look awful. There was a sequence. Let me get their schedule again. There was a sequence where, I'm forgetting off the top of my head, where they played. Maybe it was like a Monday or a Sunday and a Thursday, and they had a couple of injuries. Like they couldn't even score.
Yeah, even the wins against the Packers and then the
Packers.
Lions.
Yes, the Packers was one of them. And I guess Detroit.
Yeah, 16-9.
Yeah.
That was the game with the controversial call at the end.
That's
Like,
right.
They could have
That's
lost
right.
that game.
And even last night, I turned the game on, and they got they have 6 points in the second quarter. I'm like, what is going on?
Up 21-0 over Dallas. You're thinking, okay, here we go. And then they blow that, and now that could be the end of their year.
Yeah, and then they've lost 3 straight since they collapsed there. They lost Chicago, and then they lost in overtime to the Chargers, obviously.
Yeah, well, then
Yikes.
last night losing to the Chargers. Yeah, I mean, fascinating. The other thing from the NFL yesterday, did you see Phillip Rivers making a comeback?
Give me a joke, man. He's 45. Yeah, I mean, stop.
44. What do you mean? Give him 44 years old. Come on, George Foreman can do it. Why not Phillip Rivers? You want to? They're desperate, dude. Daniel Jones is down. You want to go with who's the guy that they have? What's their backup's name? Curtis Painter or something.
Are you talking about Riley, a kid from Notre Dame,
Riley
right?
Green, Curtis Painter. That's the Peyton Manning's backup.
Painter.
Yeah.
I mean,
was
listen,
that his name, Curtis? Or
yeah,
Lance?
well, Curtis Painter,
Lance
definitely.
Painter was
No
the
question
lefty.
about it. I've always respected Phillip Rivers. I love the way he played the game. Just a fierce competitor. I mean, I know he's been coaching. I'm sure his arm is in shape. How the hell is he going to run?
Well, but he never ran anyway.
But at some point, you might get flushed from the pocket.
He can't run. He never ran anyway. Throw it away.
No, he couldn't run at all. He could not run a lick. He was a complete non-threat to me, completely immobile. Back in the day, I remember the Jets played your Falcons. Was it Chris Chandler?
Steve DeBerg.
DeBerg, that was it, who played at the age of 44.
Because Chandler was hurt.
That's what it was.
I was at that game.
I was there, too. That was 97 or 98?
No, it was 98.
It was Parcells, 98.
One of only 2 losses for the Falcons that year.
That's right. And you tell me we wouldn't have beat you guys in the Super Bowl. Stop.
No, it was Steve DeBerg was the backup quarterback. But yes, so Steve, I forget how old he was, but he looked old.
I think he was 44.
DeBerg.
Yes.
My God, Steve DeBerg.
I'm going to tell you,
that was my first Jet game, I think.
What?
Yeah, what do you mean, what?
The old Meadowlands. Do you remember the old Meadowlands?
No, it was Giant Stadium.
Get the hell out of it. I couldn't stand that. No, it's a Meadowlands. So, you have to remember this as well. I'm sure everybody does that ever went to any of these games. Remember at halftime of Jet games, like the circular spiral thing? Do you remember that? Just going like you'd walk down, not the escalator, where you kind of walk and loop and loop and loop. And there would be like 5 or 6 or 7 absolute lunatics who would go down there and people would throw money at them. But then they would throw this is repulsive, cups of urine.
Ew. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with people?
Spit on them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and they would just go and try to collect the money, and you would just throw the most vile things on them. Ugh.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember watching. Never participating.
I miss the old Giant Stadium, just the feel.
I liked it.
Especially somebody from Long Island that would, that felt like it was in another world when you would get in the car and cross the GW and see Giant Stadium and go into that parking lot and walk through the tunnel out there.
By the way,
first time I ever went was 1998. It was a Sunday night football game, Falcons-Giants. Falcons beat the Giants that night.
Okay, and then
the second game, they played in 98, the Falcons, 14-2. They played both the Giants and Jets.
Wow,
and then they, like I said, they lost to the Jets with DeBerg as the quarterback.
I nailed the age. He was 44. Now, I didn't even realize this. So he played in 1993, played a couple of games for the Dolphins at the age of 39. He did not play again until 1998. So I'm looking at his Pro Football Reference
That's
stats.
Phillip Rivers. Good call.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Nailed it.
Yes.
You nailed it. Rivers could do it. So he hasn't played since 2020.
I guess you could.
11-5 record. I mean, it's Phillip Rivers, dude. He never looked great throwing the football anyway.
I know. It was kind of like a very short, truncate. Like he didn't really bring it all the way back and release it. It was a short arm almost, but he was good.
Oh, he was a beast.
He was a beast.
Tough as nails, SOB.
Competitive, talking smack.
Loved him. Winning big playoff games. I loved Phillip Rivers.
Especially that he played on the dirt and the grass in Qualcomm. His uniform was always dirty. He was a baller.
So we'll see. I mean, that would bring some intrigue, but that's the perfect spot. If you're the Colts, there's some familiarity there, obviously, with Rivers, where he last played. Plus, they're just desperate. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Who else?
I know what this. So I'm telling you what I'm hoping they do. I hope they keep losing with Rivers or whomever.
That's a good point. You want that pick to
They went from 8-2. I was talking about this yesterday. 8-2. They're 8-5. They've got at Seattle, the Niners, the Jaguars, and at Houston. I mean, I don't think they win another game with Phillip Rivers. You can bring back Dan Fouts. You can do whatever you want. They're not going to win. And if they do win, they're going to win once more. I don't think they're going to the playoffs, and I don't believe they finish over 500. And right now they have moved up to the 18th slot. That's obviously the Jets pick. I mean, that thing's going to keep getting better and better and better.
You think they called Brady?
I don't think that they called Tom Brady.
You think Brady would even do it? You know he's an ultimate competitor. Why? Just because he doesn't think the Colts. I mean, look, Tom Brady goes to the Colts. Colts were looked at as a Super Bowl contender early on. With the way that they were playing with Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor.
Brady just looks like he doesn't have a football body anymore. He's got like a surfer's body. Gotten very lean. Good for him.
He looks like
he looks a little fake all of a sudden.
Yeah,
the skin,
I was
going to
say like Seacrest, Pat Sajak. He's in that type, isn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, he looks great. God bless him.
He does, but it looks a little fake. His face.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good.
His face looks fake. I mean, geez. I'm not trying to diss the guy. I love Tom Brady, but it does.
The BT and Sal, hard to argue. The BT and Sal show on the fan. There's probably a reason for that. Probably is a little fake. The BT and Sal show on the fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Corbin is calling from upstate New York about those Giants. What's up, Corbin?
How you guys doing? Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Couple of things. First, I just want to say it was Giant Stadium, and it will always be Giant Stadium.
In Corbin's mind. I hear you. In my mind, Meadowlands.
No. In reality.
Exactly. But I wanted to talk about Giants coaching situation.
Hold on 1 sec, Corbin. I'm going to put you on hold for a second.
We got a little news here.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Hoff, did you see this? The latest from Passan? Jeff Passan on Twitter, breaking. Kyle Schwarber.
Phillies, no doubt.
And the Phillies.
No doubt, yeah.
5 year.
He got $5.
$150.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
Just confirm that, Hoff, because, okay.
Okay. I mean, I did not think the Mets were going to get him. I wanted the Mets to get him. I thought there was a chance for the Reds. We know about the Pirates offer. I just said an hour ago, I'm pretty sure he's going to go with Philly. I didn't think he was going to get 5 years for $150.
So the reported offer that I mentioned before from the Pirates was 4 for $120.
Yep.
And now he got 5 for $150 from the Phillies.
What does that mean for Pete? That's the next logical question here. So now,
can I ask a question? Yeah, because I heard the Josh Naylor contract didn't, set the market.
Yep.
Will Kyle Schwarber now set the market for Pete Alonso?
He's setting the market.
You sure?
Yep.
But there's going to be an argument to be made that we could talk about Pete in the Hall of Fame and 500 all you want. He's not the offensive player that Kyle Schwarber is.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, 5 for $150 I think is lighter than Pete would have wanted Schwarber to get. He's not going to surpass that, is he? You think Pete's getting more than Schwarber?
He could get the same years and more money. Not much. I mean, if you tell me...
But then my offer was well, no, what was I at? 6 for $180?
Yeah, 6 for $180.
He's not getting
30 a year?
He's not getting 6 for $180.
I agree with that. But if
I wouldn't think.
I agree with that. If Schwarber just got 5 for $150, can I see Pete getting 5 for $168 or
How old is Schwarber
around there? 33.
He's 33, yeah.
So he's 2 years older.
Yeah.
So maybe then the 6 for $180 is right.
Pete's not getting 6. I still don't see it. I don't think it's a bad day for Pete, but I don't think it impacts him as much as some people think it might.
If you're the Mets, would you rather pay Schwarber? Now, who knows? Maybe the Mets couldn't have gotten Schwarber for that. The Phillies wanted them back, and he probably wanted to go there. If you're the Mets, would you rather pay Schwarber, let's say 6 for $180?
Schwarber, 6 for $180. Go ahead.
Or Pete, 6 for $180?
Probably Pete.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably. 6 years for Schwarber's a bit exorbitant for me.
Yeah, and can't do anything else. I'm with you. I want Pete back. I think he's a better fit. And maybe it just wouldn't be equal because you're also factoring in the years. Pete is 2 years younger. So you should be better off. And he's more versatile right now.
Yeah.
So you should be better off committing. So maybe this doesn't hurt him. I would think on the surface, though, the money and knowing that Schwarber's the better hitter would not be great for Pete. Maybe you're right as we think this through in real time. Maybe I just can't. You think he's getting more than that? I don't know if I can imagine that being the case.
I think he's going to get more than $150. I just don't know how the years are going to balance themselves out. I think he's going to get more than $150 from somebody. Maybe not the Mets.
Yeah.
You know what I would do if I was Pete? This wouldn't really directly. I would have done this last year. This is not going to impact the negotiations, but and this is nothing that other than a baseball athletic observation. If I was Boris, I would say, Pete, let's clean things up a little bit. Let's drop 25 pounds. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, but then he might not be the same.
No, he's raw. The power is generated from bat speed, and he's not going to lose his home run prowess. If Pete Alonso ever changed his body, I think it would go a long way in really helping him. Now, he's never going to be fast, but he's a fairly smart base runner. He is a little more agile, like think Bam Bam Bigelow. Yeah, the wrestling theme here.
But then you could change. I don't want to mess with what's working for him.
I know. I'm not saying you come back looking like Cody Bellinger. Yeah. I'm not saying that.
The durability, the power, all that.
I mean, by losing some weight and becoming a little more flexible, if anything, it's going to enhance the durability. Although it's tough to get more durable than he's been. I mean, he plays every day.
Yeah, and you can't be in better shape than John Carl Stanton. This guy can't step on the field.
That's a different type of shape. That is a weight. That is a blunt force, repetitive trauma, weight room.
Pete's got
body.
That Paul Bunyan power, which I
know
like.
He does. I know. This is not a shame at all. I mean, he's as strong as an ox here. But when they ripped his shirt off, and you got to look at that body, and at that point he was 28 or 29, you cannot tell me that if you alter a few things, whether it's cutting out beer, I'm not saying he's a drinker, but cutting out carbs, doing more cardio, that body can't look a little different. And most importantly, I'm not talking about going to, go just walk on the beach, that it can't impact him, just a little more agility around first base, going first to third. I think it would. I don't know why he's never done that.
I wouldn't mess with that body because I want him to produce that power. Here's the most important thing. Forget about the numbers and what we think it means for Pete's contract. Where are the Mets replacing the power in the event Pete walks? Because the first answer was always, well, they have to go get Schwarber.
Yep.
Where are they replacing the power in the event that Pete walks?
I don't think that it would be one spot. I think maybe it would be a Buxton plus somebody else, or maybe they get, you know what this could do? This could actually complicate the Yankees world, especially Pete Alonso. Not that Bellinger would come in and hit 40 home runs. He's not that kind of hitter, but maybe if Pete goes somewhere else and I don't think that'll happen soon, but I do think he could leave. But if he leaves, they could be Bellinger and then maybe trade for Buxton. Buxton gives you 20-something. Beatty can hit 7 or 8 more. Alvarez could finally wake up and do it. Like, there's other ways to piece the home runs together, but it won't be easy, Sal.
We were dry humping Corbin before. Let's get back to him here before we take a break. Corbin in upstate New York. Go ahead, Corbin. Sorry to cut you off there. We got to get to that news. Go ahead.
100% forgot about him.
No problem, guys. Quick question. Listening to Boomer and Gio today, they made a great point, and I've been saying it all along ever since we fired Dable. I feel like going back to what Bill Parcells used to say back in the day, best teams.
Corbin, I hate to do this to you. I'm sorry. I got to put you on hold again.
Oh, God.
This is not good.
Oh, boy.
Will Salmon.
I love these shows.
Edwin Diaz.
To Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Wow.
In agreement on a deal.
I told you he wasn't. You're not giving a guy $17 million to come set up. I'm sorry. This is not a surprise. Now, this is not a good day for the Mets, but this is not a surprise. I'm not stunned by this. We said it.
I know, and I think where it really hit me was yesterday's report that the Mets were trying to get McGill. That's where I was like,
yeah.
I think Devin Williams was the first sign letting you know we're not going to where Diaz might want to go. Mm-hmm. That was the first sign. Then the McGill stuff, now it's not just one move. Now it's 2 moves, which make me think if you're trying to trade for McGill from the Brewers, Hoff, did you see that?
Yeah,
if you're trying to, he was out of the control, and that's why I asked that.
He's into it, yep.
If you're not, and we're dry humping Corbin, we'll get back to here after the break. I'm sorry.
Good God.
Corbin, you're on during breaking news. It's good. If you're trying to get another closer in McGill or reliever, high-end reliever, that made me think Diaz might be going elsewhere. Even with that, I'm still a little shook right now. I got to be honest with you. I mean,
you gonna be able to recover and make it through the show there, big boy?
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Making sure.
I've dealt with worse, BT. I don't know if you remember last week. But Diaz has been here for a close as the Mets closer for a long time. I will say, while it's going to shake others like myself, I, at my core, believe this is the right move. The best of Edwin Diaz is behind him. He may give you an elite year or two still. I would not invest long-term in a closer, especially one who's been volatile throughout his career. I know he's been great. He was great in 2022. He was good in 2024, and he was very good again this year. One of the game's best closers. Nobody's going to dispute that. He's still unreliable, like a lot of closers are. And to invest 5 years, $100 million.
Is that what he got? Is that the number?
That I don't know. We don't have that.
Hoff, do you know what he got?
No, we don't have anything yet, but I'm sure there's about $70 million of it deferred.
That's true.
The Dodgers thrown out there and got Tanner Scott a year ago. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to piecemeal that thing together in the postseason with all the relievers getting the job done, all the starters turning into relievers. So they feel like, they're chasing. Now, they could get away with it just because they keep spending the money.
They keep making money because they keep winning World Series.
They're doing exactly what I wouldn't recommend doing, paying somebody a lot of money based on what he did elsewhere, as opposed to finding value and trying to you want guys that are going to outperform their contract. That's the idea. That's what I would be doing. And in this case, you're probably signing up for somebody that eventually is going to underperform the contract.
Hofka, what do you have?
By the way, just one thing that it's very low key.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a connection. You know who was on the team last year?
What team? Which team?
On the Dodgers.
Who?
His brother.
Okay.
He's with the organization. Am I probably in the minors right now?
Let's take a guess before we get the official word on it. What do you think? I think he got 500.
I think it's going to be less than that.
Okay. Hoff, what do you think?
I think it's going to be fewer years and less than 100.
I think it's going to be 5 years. I believe it's probably going to be closer to 110.
I'm going to say 4, just south of 100. Now, four, I don't think it's going to be 5 years.
80? Okay.
Yeah, 85. I'm going to go a little light there.
If it's 485.
Yep.
I might have a little bone
maybe the Mets should have.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this right now, and this does not surprise me because, again, we've talked about this on the show. I think the Mets did the right thing.
Yeah.
I think the Mets did the right thing here. He's good, but when you have he's very good. When you have holes to shore up, and they've got a lot of them, I'm sorry. When you can't give relievers leads that often, like last year, then your value as a great or really good closer, elite closer, is marginalized. They've got to get pitching. They got to get sticks. They got to address multiple positions. Met fans, I know you're probably a little pissed. I think the Mets did the right thing.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to get Corbett in the game now. We dry humped him a couple of times, but now the subject has changed. We'll take a break, see if we can get him in on the other side, as well as your calls, 888-808-1019.
All right, let me tell you guys about Cash App. Wow, I love these shows. Oh, my good God. Can you give me something on the Yankees, please? I'm tired of talking about these Mets. Enough with the Mets. All right, we'll get back to the Met calls, obviously, with Diaz in a minute. Let me tell you guys about Cash App. Built for this city. Now, if you got built-in technology and security that's rock solid, Face ID, scam warnings, 24/7 chat support. Basically, it's like having a bodyguard for your money. You work too hard to let anything slip through the cracks. Download the Cash App today. Use code WFAN. Send $5 to a buddy and do that within 14 days. And Cash App is going to drop $10 right back in your account. Terms apply. That's money. It's Cash App. And it's, of course, a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App Bank Partners, prepaid debit card issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, direct deposit, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit, not Visit. What's that, though? Visit cash.app. I got to make sure I don't stumble again. That's where it gets bad. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
Steve Summers here and you there. All week long, WFAN giving away free tickets for my initial book signing at P&T Knitwear, the bookstore on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And don't forget, on Friday, I'll be on with Boomer and Gio at 9 a.m. right here on your fan in New York City.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo from Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived during the Holiday Safe Lease Sales event. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC60 B5 Core all-wheel drive, $454 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $52,545. Then 1286218. Loaner vehicle, 4,814 miles, $3,800 down payment, tax title registration fees extra, 0 security deposit, and 1226.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tonight on SNY, as news breaks and rumors fly at the winter meetings, Mets President of Baseball Operations David Stearns talks exclusively with SNY to share updates on his blueprint for the 2026 Mets. Mets Hot Stove, live from the winter meetings, tonight at 6:30, only on SNY.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, live with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Nice. My side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Sun and clouds with a high around 33.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
You're not going to like this. BT, it's out back on the Fan. In case you're just joining us, Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers. That was first reported by my buddy Will Salmon at The Athletic. And now, I literally just saw this as we're refreshing here, BT. Ken Rosenthal, Hoff confirmed this because I have my thing, you have yours. Ken Rosenthal saying Diaz deal with the Dodgers.
That's light, isn't it?
3 years.
I told you it wasn't going to be 5. I mean, I nailed this Diaz thing.
Okay, now I'm confused. We got to see what. Now, could it be 3 years?
Like crazy money that brings it over. No, I mean,
how much could it be? They're not paying him $25 million a year, are they?
He's
what did Williams get? 3 years?
$17 million a year.
All right, so you get 3 years, 51. Devin Williams did
something like that. Yeah, sounds about right.
So you tell me this is 3. So what could it be? 3 years, 80, and
well, you'd have to also factor this in. Maybe he just really wanted to go to the Dodgers, and maybe he made a bit of a concession. Maybe he wouldn't have taken 3 years from the Mets. Maybe the Mets broached it. Let's give them a little wiggle room to find out some answers here. And maybe the Mets were at 4, if it even got that far. Maybe Diaz was like, hey, listen, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm heading out west, man, no matter what you can do.
Right, so we need to get all the facts in order here. So I was under the assumption that, the early reports were that he wanted 5 years, $100 million. He wanted the Mets to give him the same deal they gave him 2 years ago.
No, I'm not saying we shouldn't react to it. I'm just saying I wouldn't overreact and crush the Mets, not knowing, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying that the reports were that Diaz wanted 5 years, 100.
Uh-huh.
So I was operating under the assumption that they're not going to give him that, and if he gets that somewhere else, then he could go. But to see Ken Rosenthal saying the deal is for 3 years, that's not 5 for 100.
What if it's 3 for 90, though? He basically got his 100 and 2 more years to go after when he becomes a free agent again. That's why I just got to see the numbers. That's all I'm saying.
3 for 90, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't give him 3 for 90, but I'm not the Dodgers. They can do anything they want.
Wow.
Yeah, Mets are going to look very different this year. And by the way, that's a good thing.
John Morosi reporting, with Edwin Diaz off the market, the Mets and Blue Jays are among the top suitors for Robert Suarez. So I don't think the Mets brought in Devin Williams saying he's going to be the closer. And I'm going based off of not only the Morosi report, but also the report about them being interested potentially with the Brewers and getting McGill. They have a plan to probably add, I would assume, to add another arm. Wow. I'm a little stunned by this. Again, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for the Mets. And I had my issues with Diaz for years, like as any fan does with closers. But this one is a little jarring to have happen here. Dude, here are the...
I mean, can I get
got
a
the details.
Yankee crumb?
I got the details.
What do you got?
Passing.
Okay.
Edwin Diaz deal with the Dodgers, 3 years, $69 million.
Okay, that's interesting now. That could change. That's why I wanted to get that. That's surprising.
You tell me the Mets couldn't do that?
23 a year.
You tell me the Mets couldn't do that?
I thought King Cohen could do everything.
Well, they didn't want to. He can.
I mean, maybe he just wanted to leave New York, honestly. Maybe they like it here.
3 years, 69. So the Mets saved, they got Devin Williams for 3 years, 51.
Yeah.
So they saved what, 18 million? Is that the right math?
Something like that?
Yeah.
Neighborhood?
You're telling me a difference of $18 million and they couldn't bring back Diaz?
Yeah, but you know the way I look at it, and this might be unpopular now, but I think it's going to be the best thing for the Mets. That's 3 years, how much, 70 you said?
69 million, yeah.
All right, 3 years, $70 million to spread around the rest of the roster in spots where they really need it.
No. They paid 3 years, 51 for Devin Williams.
But is Edwin Diaz twice as good as Williams?
No, we had this conversation, but before the Mets signed Williams, if they would have signed Diaz for 3 for 69, I'm like, wow, that's a win. I thought you were going to have to go to 5 for 100.
Yep.
3 for 70 million?
Well,
and then instead they go for 3 for 51 with Williams, and I'm thinking this is a good value because you're not paying Williams for what he did a year ago. You're paying him what he's done throughout his career, which has been one of the elite closers in the game.
Correct. He's been less volatile than Edwin Diaz.
100% agree with that. So there's value and upside there. But the fact that Diaz would only sign for the same amount of years and $18 million more? What are you kidding me? You just wasted that on Frankie Montas for 2 years. More than that. You're telling me that's going to be the holdup for Edwin Diaz? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know what I think is starting to happen here, and we saw this, with LeBron and those guys back in the day. Now, not massive concessions, but, you want to play with LeBron if you're a Chris Bosh, the way the NBA operates, there are certain teams, and then now the Dodgers have become this team where you shave a little off and you make that concession because you really think you're going to win a championship. And Edwin Diaz wants to win a championship. Wants to get to the World Series.
Yeah, but then why wasn't he saying that before? He was it was the 500. That's what he wanted. He wanted that same deal for the Mets. Maybe you're right. Maybe he just wants to go hang on the Dodgers, try to win a championship.
The other thing too, is think about this. I mean, there's a level of desperation. And I'm going to put myself in Diaz's shoes.
I hope. I can't wait for the implosion from Diaz. I hope he absolutely sucks with the Dodgers. Take those trumpets and you know what? Leaving the Mets for the Dodgers for 3 for $69 million.
Is Timmy going with him?
Now, again, I don't know if did Diaz go to the Mets with the same thing? Did he want to go to the Dodgers? This is all speculation. Obviously, the facts are coming in here as we discuss this. But
Timmy going with him? Timmy going to jump out west with him, hang out with him, Timmy Trumpets, whatever his name is.
Timmy Trumpet.
God almighty. Okay, so think about the 5-100, which is what's bothering you. I get what you're saying. all right, if he wanted this and he got that, like, what does it say about either the Mets' reluctance to sign him or the Mets' situation, maybe, which is possibly a little less desirable than we thought? If people are leaving to take, now it's the Dodgers, so you got a caveat. It's like he went to another team, like a nondescript team. So the Dodgers have a certain aura and a certain juice that nobody else has, including the Mets right now. But maybe he just floated the 5-100. He's like, all right, I don't really want to stay here. But if you give me 5 for 100, I will. But otherwise, I'll take less money to go with the Dodgers. Better weather and win a championship.
Okay.
So he played it well.
Somebody is getting ripped in this equation. It's either Diaz for spurning the Mets or the Mets for letting him go for a difference of $18 million instead when they chose Devin Williams. It doesn't add up to me. 5 years, $100 million. I'd say good for you, Diaz, taking the most money. And you know what? I'm glad the Mets didn't go to that extent. 3 years, $69 million. When you just paid Devin Williams $351, who, as much as I believe in a bounce back year and Williams' ability to handle adversity, he couldn't even maintain his closer's role in New York. Reportedly, was a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yanks had to make a trade to address that. Bednar, they had to fix it. Yeah, I know.
And that's the guy that the Mets are going to invest in instead of Diaz, who has been a proven commodity for the most part pretty consistently since 2022.
I mean, I get it. Again, when you frame it that way, understood. I mean, don't you think of all the people in baseball, who has the best sense of his character? And, forget about the baseball stuff. Everybody has access to that. Stearns knows him well.
Yeah.
You got to trust Stearns here a little bit. I'm okay with this. I always thought Diaz was a little overrated. A little. I mean, really good, obviously. But just, walking that tightrope. But I'm also spoiled by Mariano. Strike one, strike two, broken bat, strike three. Like,
Diaz doesn't know where the ball's going.
Nobody's like that.
Takes him 2 batters to warm up to be able to know where the ball's going.
That's true.
Joe is in Charlotte, North Carolina. What's up, Joe?
Hey, guys. I hate Stearns. I hate Stearns. I hate him ever since he has come to the Mets. You guys don't not justify what he is doing. We have not signed one big player outside of Soto, which was Cohen. He is letting everyone go. This was not a Diaz thing. He could have paid $5 million more or whatever the case is. We have lost the best closer that we've ever had. We have Devin Williams, who had a 5.5 ERA, who's going to be our closer. I don't care what under the hood numbers say. We are worse. He has traded Brandon Nimmo, and I can guarantee you we do not get a top center fielder or left fielder. We are going to pivot to the youngsters in the minors. He is destroying this team. Pete, if I was Pete, why the heck would I want to come back to the Mets? Why would I come back to the Mets? Stearns is destroying the Mets culture. Pete,
well, wait a second. What culture have the Mets had?
We had a culture of people who actually wanted to come to the Mets.
Joe, the Mets have stunk. The Mets have stunk, okay? So don't make it like he's killing the culture here. They won 83 games. With your beloved Alonso, Diaz, and Nimmo, they won 83 games. Let's not make it like they can't replace that.
After our 2024 season, what did we need? Simply pitching. That's it. That's all we needed was pitching. What are we doing here?
Well,
we
Joe,
can't address the pitching?
Listen, I appreciate the anger. Thanks for the call there, Joe. But I think you're glossing over a few deficiencies. Listen, the pitching was the obvious thing. It was like among the worst starting pitching I've ever seen. We know that. It was night to night chaos for the manager. We all know that stuff. There was also a lot of nights where that Met lineup came up very small, whether it was high leverage spots or runners in scoring position early in the season. I don't think the offense was incredibly consistent either. So I do think you kind of enhance that and make it a little bit better than it is. So I think this is the early stages of taking a wrecking, actually now it's no longer the early stage. Nimmo, wrecking ball. Diaz, wrecking ball. Pete could be wrecking ball. And I'm not saying that you should take the wrecking ball to Pete, but they might. They are changing this, and they are changing this radically. And you hired him to do his job. When he first got here, there was a lot of contracts that prevented him from doing stuff, and the Mets won a lot. And I made the analogy of the first year with Shane and Dable with the Giants, where he may have wanted to do things with Stearns, I'm talking about, but he couldn't because they won. Now this is his chance to build out a franchise in his vision. You might not like it now, but that's why he was brought here.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Warrior calls when we come back. Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard will still join us at 12 o'clock. And we get the breaking news of Diaz. We'll react to that throughout the course of the show and see what else comes in from the winter meetings. 888-808-1019.
This wild stuff. Hey, who's hot in football? Brought to you by Petro Home Services. Puka Nakua is hot. 7 catches, $167, 2 touchdowns in the win over Arizona. If you want to save on heating costs, go with Petro. Switch now, get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather. Speaking of the weather, it's freezing out today. Like 15 degrees when I got in the car this morning. And live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro to stay warm and save this winter. So you better call now. Petro.com. Save $125 free heating oil, or call them at 1-888-PETRO-02 today. Use propane. Ask about our special offers. Propane not available in all areas.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 101.9 FM.
That's really what I need to see, is them getting their future quarterback, where they end up at the end of the year. Darren Mucci building this roster. They don't have enough players, and I also think that, right now I evaluate the coaching staff as like a D.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Tyler Shuck is no fluke. He's proving he belongs in the NFL. Super Bowl champion Mark Schlereth pegged him as the best rookie quarterback from the class, and that was before he led the Saints to an upset win in Tampa. After Sunday, Tyrann Mathieu was calling for New Orleans to, quote, give him the keys. In the pounding rain, Shuck delivered 2 rushing touchdowns, converted clutch third downs to seal the win, and now the second-round quarterback is proving he's tough, mobile, and poised under pressure. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
FanDuel's the number one sports book for same-game parlays, from points and rebounds to threes and dimes. FanDuel is the spot to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all on one easy-to-use, simple app. And right now is a perfect time to join, because new customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, simple to navigate, and the best part is, when you win, you get paid right away, right in the account. FanDuel, of course, the official sports book of us here at WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric and discover the comfort of this spacious three-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT, it's out back on the Fan reacting to the breaking news of Edwin Diaz. I mean, going to the Dodgers, I'm still trying to process this whole thing here. I need to know what. Now, we'll eventually learn. I don't know if we're going to learn today. But at the winter meetings, usually everybody's accessible, so I'm sure we'll get comments from David Stearns. I don't know about Diaz side of things. I don't know how the Yankees don't get involved at this. 3 years, $69 million for the best closer on the market when you got Devin Williams getting 3 years, $51. It doesn't add up. So maybe it's just that Diaz wanted to go elsewhere and be with the Dodgers. Then that would take both the Mets and Yankees off the hook. But for now, BT, just taking it at face value, that is a deal. I wouldn't have gone 5 for 100, but 3 for 69 when Williams got 3 for 51. That makes no sense to me.
I don't really think he wanted to be here. I keep going back to that. I think the easiest thing to do, and I know why you're doing it, and I know why others are doing it, trust me, and there's a part of me who's doing it as well. 3 years, 69 with the Dodgers, I don't know that we can equivocate that and say it would have been 3 years, 69 with the Mets or 3 years, 69 with the Yankees. I think that there's a concession built in there.
Because you're saying he wanted to go.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if he didn't?
I do. If he connected to the Dodgers from day one. There's reason for that. We heard Edwin Diaz Dodgers over a month ago. Wasn't just pulled out of thin air. That's his people planting seeds. His brother's there. We talked about that before. Maybe he wants the better weather. Maybe he wants a different situation. I don't know. Maybe he didn't really enjoy that Mets clubhouse. I know Mendy shot it down yesterday, and I know that they're doing things to kind of change the culture a bit, which I applaud. But I think he wanted to be a Dodger. And when you want to be somewhere and you've already got a ton of money in the bank, you leave a little on the table, you go and be happy, and you're probably in a better situation because the Dodgers are the best team in baseball.
Trey is calling from Morristown, New Jersey. What's up, Trey?
Hey, Trey.
How are we doing?
Good.
I don't, this is a complete and utter disaster here. Maybe he didn't want to be here, but Steve Cohen right now is not the guy, and I've said this before, who was sipping Mai Tais in Maui, telling John Heyman what's the heck the difference about a couple percentage points. We are letting guys go that we shouldn't let go, and I've tried to be positive this whole time, but I'm starting to feel like this was all a big masquerade so Uncle Stevie could get his casino. Stearns, you're on watch now. Everybody's going to hate you. So make some moves and make it happen because this is pathetic.
Yeah, Met fans are pissed off today. Yeah, that's the early read. And I get it.
But here's the one thing that I would say. To the Met fans who are pissed off, your team has sucked for years. You root for a franchise that has not won, has twice in their history been to the postseason in consecutive years. Twice. 15 and 16 and 99 and 2000. That's it. So when you take a wrecking ball to it, or when you have Stearns coming in saying, I'm not bending off of what I believe in, you've got to let him do his job. He's only been here for 2 years. Before you make definitive decisions about Stearns is lost and we hate him, how can he let this guy go? How can he let that guy go? You didn't win. They didn't win with him. He's trying to build this thing into a winner with Steve Cohen and his resources. Yep. So before you go nuts on Stearns, acknowledge that even with Edwin Diaz here, they weren't good enough, nowhere near good enough. Even with Brandon Nimmo here, they weren't good enough, nowhere near good enough. We'll see what happens with Pete Alonso. I understand there's going to be public backlash here. It doesn't mean that the Mets can't be a significantly better team when all's said and done this year.
I agree. But now if Pete bounces, now that negative energy, which is beginning to crystallize now, not that the Mets should make moves based on the anticipation of negative reaction, but if Pete bounces, dude, with the Edwin Diaz stuff, with some of the residue from the Nimmo stuff, I mean, fans are going to be, they're going to be pissed.
By the way, his brother is currently a free agent, so I guess he got traded there last year in season.
Well, maybe they'll bring them both back.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought he was still with the team. Thank you, Alf. The one thing that I would say, too, a little reality check here for the Met fans pertaining to Diaz. Listen, we know his numbers. We get that. And when he's on, he's unhittable. He's untouchable. His first year was 2019.
He was god-awful.
No, forget about that, though. ERA almost 6. Awful.
It was the worst year I've ever seen for a Mets closer.
It was bad. I mean, we thought Armando Benitez blew up a few. I mean, it was awful. 2019, his first year. Since 2019, I mean, that's a while ago at this point. He's thrown 11 1/3 playoff innings. That's not his fault necessarily, but you've got to, I guess I could say this as a Jets fan, you've got to escape the and it's not a diss, the narrow-mindedness of overinflating the good players that you've had for a bad situation. If you really want to get to the penthouse, I think that and I know you do, I think you've got to open up your mindset a little bit to understand there's a different way to get there.
My only issue, BT, I agree with everything you said. We've had that conversation many times, and I'm very open to that. My only issue is that they just paid Devin Williams 3 years, $51. Mm-hmm. Diaz only got 3 years, $69. $18 million is not enough of a difference for me to justify losing a known commodity here and bringing in a guy who struggled in his first year in New York. Upside, sure. Yep. Airbender, movement.
He's working on another pitch. I saw,
I get all that. But
he'll be fine.
Fair enough.
But I got you.
I tend to agree with that. Also, there's a pain in the ass to deal with.
Well, Mendy better make sure.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, that's another thing. But anyway, I think he'll be fine. 3 years, 51 for Devin Williams versus 3 years, 69 for Diaz is a non-argument. Mm-hmm. It's not even close in favor of Diaz.
Agreed. Now, that's why when this first broke, I said, how much money did he get? I need to know the parameters. Like, you need to get as much as you can before you really, truly react, even though this is in real time, so we have to have opinions, and you've heard ours so far. The only thing, I can't rule this out because I don't know if this happened or didn't, but I'm going to leave the window a little bit open. What if his reps went to the Mets out of respect and said, listen, guys, start planning as if he's gone. Now, that's a little unconventional because you wouldn't necessarily want to take the threat of Cohen's checkbook out of the equation in terms of leverage. Like, that's dumb. But from minute one, if he wanted to be a Dodger, there's a chance maybe his camp did the right thing and said, we're going. So protect yourself. And that's why they pivoted to Devin Williams early. It's possible.
Jeff is in Oceanside. Jeff?
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm not good. I'm very, very upset. I cannot take it. This is ridiculous. Why do the Mets have this problem with not keeping – I know he's not homegrown, so to speak, Diaz, but he's been here a long time. Why do they have constantly have this problem not keeping fan favorites, successful players? He didn't get 6 years. He didn't get 7 years. He got 3 years. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know what? Part of going to a game is liking the players you want to see. Mm. That's part of the experience, the entertainment. I'm flabbergasted. I'm pissed off, and I'm mad, and it's ridiculous. I don't like Stearns. They better sign Alonso today. Give him the Schwarber deal. That's a fair deal. Just do it. You know what? The fans like their players. The fans like going there, seeing the players they want to root for. That's part of the experience.
Yeah, but Jeff, hold on. Jeff, all due respect. fans are fans for a reason, and baseball executives are executives for a reason. Doesn't matter that they're always right. Trust me, we've seen a ton from every sport in this town that we wanted out and that were eventually ousted from their jobs. But you've got to give him a chance to finish his vision. You have to.
His vision was signing, what's his face, for $34 million.
No, his vision's to win a World Series for the first time since Run DMC was bopping beats out of my boombox.
And Diaz is an asset for that, not a D asset.
You don't know that because he hasn't been an asset so far.
He has, Sal.
No. I mean, as far as getting to the World Series and winning that.
He's been a key cog. He came in numerous times and saved their bacon when no one else could get it out.
Okay, does that mean he's
a proven commodity?
Jeff, here's the thing. They won 83 games with him. So everything should be on the table moving on, and thank you for the call. I understand your position on this, but when you win 83 games, everything should be on the table. My biggest issue is not that they let Diaz go. It's that Diaz didn't get much more money than Devin Williams.
I know.
That doesn't make sense to me. Somebody's got to explain that. And I'll give the Mets the benefit of the doubt for the time being in that it doesn't add up. And it's not like the Mets are trying to piss people off and build a losing team. I want to know why they felt that they could get. I assume that they thought they were getting Williams at a good value, and then we're going to work on bringing Diaz back. And if the price got out of control, at least they had the fallback with Devin Williams. The price that Diaz left the Dodgers for, 3 years, $69 million, is that it's absurd that the Mets would let him walk for that and pay Devin Williams 3 years, $51. That doesn't make sense on any level. I don't care what he did in Milwaukee. I don't care what you think he can do. There's no way any Met fan wants to hear them justify that they signed Devin Williams from the Yankees in a failed year for 3 years, $51, and let their guy go, who's been a high-level elite closer, in fact, with the Mets outside of 2019 for 3 years, $69 million. That's where there's an issue. I better hear that it's because Diaz didn't want to be with the Mets anymore. He wanted to go to the Dodgers. Anything other than that, it makes no sense from the Mets' perspective.
That's why I'm leaving the window open for it not being a conventional transaction, like a conventional negotiation, because, and that's where I would agree with you. I just need to sort through this and see. All right, I mean, hey, you got 3 years, $69 from the Dodgers. Were the Mets give it a chance to match? Were the Mets give it a chance to exceed? Did the Mets, just kind of let them know early, hey, we're going to move on. We got our guy, and, you do what you got to do. I don't know. I need answers there. But I would, and this is, for deeper thought, deeper conversation downstream later today, whatever. But there's a chance that it's going to be Williams and Suarez, which could be really, really good. So I guess I ask you, and it would, I know there's no definitive model here, but would you rather have Diaz and whomever, Raley, I don't know, throw whatever name you want in there, Clay Holmes back in the bullpen, or a possible tandem of Williams and Suarez or Williams and Fairbanks? All I'm saying is, I think there's a better than average chance that the 8th and the 9th inning for the Mets this year is better than the 8th and the 9th inning last year.
BT and Sal on the Fan, much, much more on Edwin Diaz. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogut.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. As you've been hearing, Edwin Diaz is now a former Met. 3 years and $69 million. Apparently all it took to get him to switch to Dodger Blue. Just yesterday, LA manager Dave Roberts was talking about their need to add a high-leverage bullpen arm. Diaz leaves in third on the Mets' all-time saves list, trailing John Franco and Armando Benitez. The Phillies, meanwhile, not letting Kyle Schwarber leave town. The slugger reportedly re-signs 5 years, $150 million. Meanwhile, Schwarber, Dodgers catcher Will Smith, Orioles shortstop Gunnar Henderson, and Brewers second baseman Bryce Terang all named to Team USA for the World Baseball Classic in March. And the Knicks have an NBA Cup quarterfinal tonight, and you've got to wait a bit for it. It's an 8:30 tip in Toronto. Fan weather is sponsored by New York City Small Business Services. It's 27 and sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes come up every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Since January of 2022, the City of New York has awarded $24 billion in contracts to MWBEs, the most of any U.S. city or state in the nation. Build your business with the City of New York by going to nyc.gov/MWBEs.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving. It's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Experience the magic of the season in true Mercedes-Benz style during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Find the perfect Mercedes-Benz for yourself or someone special at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Katina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey, 1 legendary name, renowned for unmatched customer service, Ray Katina. Celebrate the season with exclusive holiday offers at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Discover the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
I know everybody's angry with Diaz, and we'll get to that. We'll continue the calls. Diaz leaving the Mets to go to the Dodgers. We want to bring some love to the program. Bruce Pritchard, a.k.a. Brother Love, joining the show. Bruce, it's an honor. How you doing?
Well, it's an honor for me, and let me know. I just got to let you know that I love you.
This is amazing seeing this.
Nobody gets that. Nobody gets an I love you.
We appreciate it. That's an honor.
Come on.
Thank you, Bruce.
So we do a football pick segment on this show, and last year I won, and they had to dress up as wrestlers. We made BT Brother Love. So we got to show you some of those pictures. He had the red face paint and all that
A little
stuff.
too red, to be honest with you.
No, actually, I saw it.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah.
I tried, man.
I did. I did see it. It looked good.
Brother BT. Now, let me just
man.
get to this before we get into some stuff here with Bruce. WWE returns to New York January 5th to kick off the new year on Netflix. Tickets for Raw at Barclays are available now. Ticketmaster. This is the second year of Netflix with WWE and their partnership. And obviously, this Saturday, a huge event. John Cena's final match. Saturday night main event. This Saturday, exclusively on Peacock, 8 p.m. Cena versus Gunther in his last match. And some of the biggest stars of tomorrow will take center stage. Undisputed champion Cody Rhodes takes on NXT champion Obafemi. Is that how you say that?
Obafemi, yes.
Obafemi. So let's start with the Cena stuff. How has this been fun for you? Has this been challenging navigating his final year with the company?
All the above, and I got to tell you, it's also been kind of sad too, because the last match that he had in San Diego, he wrestled Dominic Mysterio, Survivor Series, and I hugged him after the match. And I said, you know what? I'm sad. I'm sad that we are only going to do this one more time. And he looked at me and said, Bruce, I've only got one more time left in me.
Yeah.
So bless his heart, man. It's been an absolute blast doing it. And I'm just sad that it's coming to an end.
What is the first thing that goes for a wrestler? Because, we talk about more conventional sports every day, obviously. An older hitter, you kind of lose a little bat speed. You got to guess now. Now you're jumping out. And your average, swoons. When a wrestler first starts to lose it, what's the first detectable thing to you as an executive that has seen this for years, decades?
Just more than anything, slowing down. The knees start to go. The bodies start to go. You have someone like AJ Styles, who had never had an injury his entire career. Then all of a sudden, it's oh, wow, I've got an injury. I tore something. And once one thing starts to go, everything else starts to go, because it's constant wear and tear. And the reason that these athletes can perform the way they do is conditioning and just callousing their body to take the punishment.
What's the biggest difference, though, from when you were in your heyday as Brother Love, and obviously you've been in the company? I was saying this before. Outside of Vince himself, you would be the guy that I'd like to talk to about the history of the last 40 years of the company, all the car rides, all the stars that you're with, all that you experience. I mean, you have it all. Yeah, good God. So what's the difference from where you were in it back then to where you're in it now, with as far as the shape that these guys keep themselves in, the durability, the length of their careers? There's got to be a significant difference.
I often say that if the business had been what it is today then, that I don't think I ever would have trained to get into it. I was an athlete. I wasn't a world-class athlete like the talent that comes through now that are just ungodly phenomenons that can do anything. So the conditioning is different. The athleticism is different. They're just much more in tune with their body. They don't go out and drink every night. They're not doing all kinds of drugs. They take care of themselves. We were out every night, partying every night, but we also did it every night.
Yeah, and you also wrestled every night, too, pretty much.
We got the hell beat out of us every single night, day in and day out, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday.
Yeah. I'm not even sure that I knew this in real time, but I love wrestling, more of the old school stuff for sure. But one of the things that really drew me in was the interviews. Certainly, I love that, and this is what I do for a living. And really the interviews, whether it's the Body Shop, I mean, there was only one Piper's Pit, the Snake Pit, the Flower Shop, the Mayhem. Like, when you were doing your role there, how much was scripted? How much did you get with your guests before? How did you set up for an angle like that? Because if it falls flat, it's pretty embarrassing, and it never really did for you, but how do you make sure it doesn't?
I controlled it. That was the beauty of it all, in that we didn't have script writers. We didn't have someone come in and, it's terrible to say on the air, but, if somebody asked you had your script, that meant you had a handful of pills. Nowadays, it's just a piece of paper with a bunch of words written on it. Yeah. Stole that from Steve Austin. Credit to Steve. But, no, we knew what we had to do. You had a story to tell. Go out and tell me this story, sell some tickets, get some people, get a butt every 18 inches. So we did that by talking the people in. And if there was someone that was not a good talker that couldn't do that, then that was my job to either put the words in their mouths or to make it so that you understood what their point of view was.
Getting thrown around the ring sometimes as well.
Yeah, whatever it took. Yeah. Whatever it took. But yeah, it was a lot more impromptu. And part of the art of what we did was selling tickets and being able to talk and tap into the emotions of the audience.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Bruce Pritchard in studio with us. Obviously, Edwin Diaz signing with the Dodgers. We'll get much more on that in just a few minutes here. Saturday night's main event this Saturday, exclusively on Peacock, 8 p.m. Cena's final match. Cena versus Gunther, some of the biggest superstars of tomorrow, also going to be taking stage. Where do you, Bruce, you've been around forever, where would you rank Cena and his impact on the profession of wrestling?
Well, definitely one of the top five. And I look at John Cena. If you were to
top five,
by God, I'm sticking with it. My top five. But John Cena, if I had 100 of them, John Cena is the prototype I use. When a young talent comes and says, "What do I need to do to succeed?" I said, John Cena, you need to do the work. You need to find the work, and you need to do it better than anybody else. And don't be afraid of it. So John Cena from day one came in and did everything that needed to be done, found the merchandise guys, found everybody in the company. What do you do? How can I help you? And did it. When he came back, he got in for a photo shoot. It was supposed to be 11:30. He was in the building about 10. Walks around, cable pullers, camera guys setting up. Hey, can I help you?
Wow.
Ends up setting up with the camera guy the lights for his own shoot. That's the kind of guy you want. First one there, last one to leave.
Yeah, first-rate guy.
And he is the ultimate pro.
That's what everybody says. So you started in Houston in the early 70s.
Yes. Well, God, not the early 70s.
I thought it was Stampede in 73 selling the posters and the shirts.
It is.
I did the research here. Come on, bro. You got your show, we got ours for now.
Come on, man. You didn't have to do that much research to make me sound like an old man.
No,
yes,
no,
1973.
Okay,
man,
but I asked you that to
Yes.
set up this question. So that's a lot. 6 decades of wrestling.
Yes.
What do you think in terms of the characters, the mic work, the ring work, the locker room fun, the fan reaction, and the script writing? That's a lot. But what do you think was the best decade in wrestling?
I have to look at, because I listen to old timers who will start off a comment with, I'm going to tell you what was wrong with the business, by God. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with the business right now.
Yeah.
'Cause by God, back in my day, it was better. We were doing this, we were doing that. There's nothing wrong with the business. And if you truly love it, and I do truly love it, I think that it grows, it changes, it's different. That's all. It's not better or worse, it's just different. I'm enjoying what we're doing right now because we are in a process where we're changing things, we're growing every night, man. You see more and more people engaged. You walk down the street, you see all of our merchandise. People, I'm being recognized on the street, and it's a good feeling. I loved it in the 70s. Absolutely loved it in the moment. The 80s were awesome. That I remember. The 90s were good. And big.
Coming out of your haze a little bit in the 90s.
It was a little hazy, man. Yeah, definitely. And then, the 2000s were what they were, kind of a rebuilding period.
Yes.
But right now, when you look at it, man, it is exciting because you see the young pool of talent that we have in Florida at NXT, in our Performance Center, that they're just hungry. You look at them and you see these guys that just want to do this so bad. And so for me right now, in the moment right now, I think is probably one of the best times. And I would say number one, because it's looking to the future and seeing what's to come.
BT and Sal on the Fan, in studio with Bruce Pritchard, a.k.a. Brother Love. WWE returns to New York January 5th to kick off the new year on Netflix. Tickets for Raw at Barclays are available now at Ticketmaster. We'll get to the Edwin Diaz stuff coming up in just a little bit. How about the show Unreal on Netflix, Bruce? For you, first of all, I love it. And it takes us behind the scenes into some of what you do as creative and all that stuff. But for an old school mind like yourself, to go from where you were to now everything is being exposed, how do you feel about that?
I hated it at first. I really did. I am, believe it or not, a pretty private person anyway. But to discuss business for the world to see how and why we do the things that we do, that was always the mystery. That was always the untold. And when we did it, it's like, okay, if we do this, we're going to go all in, and we have cameras everywhere. And what happens is you forget you're on camera when you do that, because they're just in your face. There's people shooting over there, people shooting over there, people shooting up there, down there, everywhere. And you let your guard down. And you just, the unreal is very real. It's obviously edited, and it's an entertainment show, and it's a docu-series, I'll call it.
Yep.
But I think it's been fun, and it's given the audience an insight as to this is more than two guys in their underwear wrestling in a ring.
Yeah, Sal turned me on to it, by the way. I haven't seen them all. You're right. It's actually phenomenal.
There's one season out. It's great. Season 2, I think, coming at some point.
I love seeing when the guys come behind the curtains. That stuff I can't get enough of. So I want to ask you this here, Bruce. One of my complaints with, say, Entertainment Hollywood is that there's not a lot of creative scripts anymore. We're seeing a lot of remakes and just, I think myself, a lot of corny stuff and a lot of bad cinema stuff. Like, I just look, there's a lot of great movies out there. And I wonder what the challenge for you guys is with, I guess there's an infinite amount of scripts. You could always tweak something where it's just a little different, but how hard is it the more you do and the more the public wants to consume it to come out and pump out creative stuff?
Extremely difficult.
Gotta be tough, man.
It is, and after doing it for as many years as I have, it is, you have to surround yourself with young people and let them get out there and be able to, man, I'm 62 years old, but I'm working with kids in their 20s. And to have the faith, the confidence to go with their ideas, to try it, because that's the audience we're trying to reach. We're not trying to reach my audience. We're trying to reach this other audience, new and young. So you just gotta have a little bit of faith. Very difficult. And what we find happening a lot of times is, even with the young crew coming in, you're still doing repeat what you've done before, because what's old is new again. And maybe when you're doing something.
On the podcast, so I started listening to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson years ago, and he gives great insight on things. And it was a weird world of connectivity when I hear you ripping Raceman and Mushnick, two guys who were critical of stuff on the station, and he's like, bleep Raceman and bleep Mushnick.
Yeah,
it was
all the
one
things
thing
that we want to say on the air that we couldn't say all
those
those
years,
years,
it kind of brought us together, Bruce, a little bit.
I love Dave Meltzer in there too, who is a fiction writer and not a very good fiction writer.
He's all over Dark Side of the Ring and that stuff, Meltzer.
The fact that you can just make things up and print them as if, and if that's the only source of information that your fan base has, that's scary.
Okay, so I love watching the old shoots. I mean, I like it. DiBiase, I'll fire him up. He's not, I don't think he's great on the air, although I loved him when he was actually wrestling and his character. There's so many that you could watch. Honky Tonk Man's out there, a lot of stuff. He's out of his mind. Yep. One of the things that I enjoy the most is when they focus on who is legitimately the toughest guy in the locker room. And almost every answer is Haku. I mean, Haku ripped this guy's eye out. Literally, it's a story.
Yeah.
Haku. Who is it now? Like, who is, and I don't mean if you're a black belt, so take those guys out of it. Just a legitimate street fighter. If something went down behind the curtain, kind of like a Haku or Andre back in the day, who is that guy now? Who would it be?
I think, without question, probably Brock Lesnar.
But I'm saying, that's why I say without a fighting black belt background.
Well, yeah.
That's too easy an answer.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar.
but Brock is just a walking machine. I think when you take Brock out, I'll put Braun Breaker, hell of a football player, hell of a stud, incredible athlete.
Okay,
he's Scott Steiner's son.
He is Rob's.
Rob Steiner.
Rob Rick Steiner, yeah. Rick Steiner.
Oh, Rick Steiner. Okay, Rick Steiner. I know him as Rick Steiner. Okay. Yeah. Oh, right. I knew that. The dog-faced gremlin.
Yes.
That one. Okay, yes.
He's a tough kid, but we've got Chad Gable. Man, I'll put Chad Gable in there.
All right, so at least there's some names. That's really, I just wanted to hear. Yeah. Like, not everybody's so desensitized. Like, it's not that different. There's still a couple of, legitimate alphas back there.
But you don't want to get in the ring
with. Show.
You don't want to just test them that much.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
Some of us have that sick little thing in us that I just got to feel it. How bad is he?
Yeah. What's your favorite impression that you've done over the years?
You know what? I listened to my podcast the other day, and there was a Macho Man impression on there. And apparently I did it, but I thought, how did we get Randy to plug my show? And it was, yeah, freak out, yeah, something to wrestle with, Bruce Pritchard, yeah, yeah, freak out, yeah, thinking.
It's money. Now, even the fingers are moving as he's doing it. Good job.
But then the easiest one to fall into at all times is the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, baby, because it just kind of flows off. And I can be Virgil, I can be the dream everywhere. It's just kind of every situation you can figure out how a dream would react.
So good. And one of my favorites, when you did Piper WrestleMania 5, to him. Right? When you were doing it with Morton Downey right at the time?
Right.
Morton Downey Jr.
God, I remember that, of course.
You were in the ring for the Brother Love show, and then you were doing the Piper impression. It was just phenomenal as well. So, and I know you were close with all these guys, so it's not just doing the impression as a fan, but you were actually friends with a lot of these guys.
Yes, and Roddy hated people imitating him.
He did.
But I didn't feel like
Even
a lot
you?
of people actually imitated. Like, everybody had a macho. I didn't feel like everybody really had an impersonation of Piper.
In the day, they like to do it, and oh, hello there, son.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But
Okay,
Roddy hated it, and I had to pitch this whole idea to Roddy and do it. Roddy would pet people. It's like, some people, they shake your hand and hold on. Roddy would pet you. How are you doing, son? I was like, that's a nice little haircut there, fella. Oh, where'd you get this shirt? Yeah, that's cute the way you say that. Yeah. Well, you want to do what? Yeah, okay. I'll see you in the ring. And that was it.
Genius, though, right?
And
genius.
He would just...
He was a genius.
I mean, he about knocked me out the first time we worked together.
What happened? Real fast. What happened?
We were just in the ring going back and forth. And again, we had no script writers. We just did what we did. And the purpose of this was me to piss him off, and I did. And I got a right hand that I didn't expect. Never saw it coming.
And he was kind of tough. Piper was, he was not a wuss at all.
Yeah.
He was not
but
afraid to throw
he also had the element of
hands.
surprise that I caught the middle rope. I did not go down.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, I don't think you like that one.
Bruce, we could do hours with you.
we could.
We love listening to the podcast. Best of luck moving forward with the WWE. Hopefully, we could have you again at some point soon. Bruce Pritchard, WWE, returning to New York January 5th to kick off the new year on Netflix. Tickets for Raw at Barclays available now at Ticketmaster. Saturday night main event this Saturday, exclusively on Peacock, 8 p.m. John Cena's final match. So stay tuned for that. Bruce, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. Anytime.
And by the way, of the two, who's the heel, who's the baby face? You write this stuff. You know who's the heel in the room, me or him? Who's the heel? Come on.
Sal's got to be the
heel. Yeah, he's got to be the heel, doesn't he? He's got to be the heel.
He's got to be the heel.
Either way, I love you, brother Bruce.
No.
We appreciate you. You're the man.
Great job, Bruce.
All right.
Great meeting you.
We'll get back to your calls at Edward Diaz in just a second. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
All right, FanDuel, the number one sports book for same-game parlays, points and rebounds, threes and dimes. FanDuel's the best spot to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now, it's a perfect time to join because new customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Bet on the players that you love and do it the way that you want. Head to FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love it around here. The app is great, and it's safe and secure. And when you win, you get paid right away. FanDuel, of course, the official sportsbook of the Fan, 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Dart takes the snap. Big Blue is back after a bye, taking on the Commanders at MetLife. 1 o'clock Sunday.
Into the end zone for a touchdown.
The home of the New York Giants is the Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Boomer here. If you care about cooking your meat to perfection as much as I do, the IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer from Chef IQ wirelessly monitors your food's internal temperature in real time and pairs with the Chef IQ app to tell you when it's time to flip, rest, and serve. So there's no guesswork. There's no overcooking. Just perfect USDA safe temps every single time. It even connects to the new Chef IQ mini oven for hands-off precision cooking. So why not grab yours today at chefiq.com, code word Boomer to save 30% at checkout.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios Home Internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
Hi, it's Andy in Snow Country. ZipRecruiter. Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. There was a nice fresh top-off of natural snow for many mountains over the weekend, and now cold air locked in for the week. A powerful, productive stretch of snowmaking rolls in, helping mountain crews deliver us more trails every day. Camelback open and set to ride with 8 runs of Machine Groom Snow going till 5 in the afternoon. Shawnee Mountain's already been open. They'll be back again Friday. The same for Mountain Creek, back for Friday skiing and riding into the weekend. Bel Air checks out 35 runs today and 11 miles of terrain. At Gore, plenty of snowmaking as they're expanding terrain into Lower Sunway and Pete's Paradise. They have 16 runs open at Gore. Whiteface fired up for packed powder and over 40 trails. Killington with over 60 runs.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
More at snowcountry.com.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
It's the season of giving at Nielsen Dodge. During this season of light and generosity, we're giving you our best deals on every car, truck, and SUV in stock.
That's right, Chels, and we're pulling out all the stops to bring you extra special holiday offers.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4, just $189 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $299 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
We'll also give you 0 down payment. We always give you the credit help you need.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Wrap up the year's sales event. With approval term 27 months due at Sign Compass 5189, Cherokee 5894 at tax tag $498 and DMV fees.
Ready for a smarter way to heat your home and save on energy costs? Go with Petro. Upgrade to a new energy-efficient heating system with the latest technology to help you save now and for years to come. With easy financing, $0 down, and low monthly payments, better comfort and savings are all within reach. And trust your local HVAC pros at Petro for expert installation and best-in-class service. Don't miss this deal for a new heating system. Go to petro.com now or call 1-888-PETRO02 today. That's 1-888-PETRO02.
This year's Farmer's Almanac warns of a harsh, super snowy winter. So take control of the wet, snowy, and icy conditions with a new set of Bridgestone winter tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Bridgestone winter tires. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Back on the Fan. We'll get back to the calls here, obviously, on the story of the day with Edwin Diaz leaving the Mets for the Dodgers. And by the way, just thanks to Bruce Pritchard and WWE for having him stop in studio. We were talking with him off the air. Ideally, we love to have him in studio for an hour. That was the plan. When the Diaz news breaks, obviously, we got to do what we got to do and stick to the sports
he
here.
was great.
But he is an encyclopedia and an entertaining encyclopedia at that. Now, I'm getting texts, I'm sure like you are, BT, throughout the course of the show, and I'm trying to keep this stuff updated here. People want me to go nuts on David Stearns. I hope you crucify Stearns. And
give us a good one before we...
Come on,
I'll lay out your thing.
I will. I will.
Let's wind him up.
If we need to. Hold on, I'm just reading the latest news. This is according to USA Today. Dodgers had no interest in giving Diaz more than a 3-year contract, but Diaz agreed as long as he received the record annual salary, and the Dodgers got their man. So to me, it doesn't sound like he wanted to just go to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It sounded like he wanted to be the highest AAV, which then goes back to the Mets. I understand you got to draw the line somewhere, and you got to have principles. But how can you justify giving Devin Williams, who I liked the addition? Most Met fans are like, I don't know if I want. I could see through the garbage that was last year with Williams and say, you're paying him based off of what he's done. We talked about this, okay? He's been arguably the best closer in the sport prior to his last season with the Yankees for a long time. So I could see getting him on a value and handling the adversity in New York and all that stuff. What I can't see is paying Devin Williams $351 instead of paying Diaz for $3 for $69. Make it make sense to me, BT. For $18 million, make it make sense.
Well, based on that last thing that you just read, I'm not so sure that I can, because a lot of my opinions and thoughts were based on the very real possibility that Diaz simply wanted to be a Dodger. And it doesn't seem as if the motivation was simply to be a Dodger. it seems as if the motivation was to be the highest paid AAV closer. Now, but having said that, I still don't fault the Mets for not acquiescing to that. I'm just of the belief that now, when you have a really good team and you have a problematic spot at the back end of your bullpen, that's a problem that will deter you from getting to where you want to get. But when you have so many other holes that must be addressed before you even get to the closer, and oh yeah, by the way, they have somebody, as you and I both believe, will step in, maybe not quite be Diaz, but will be really good. I'm just of the mindset, hit the other holes rather than Diaz. Now, another mindset might be, well, one of the reasons why Met fans were so excited when Steve Cohen bought the team, because we thought we would be able to address the Diaz situation, get somebody like a Williams who once was an amazing closer, the best in the 8th inning, and still address all the other holes. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case, and that's a little surprising, but I still think big picture, I think the Mets are going to have a massive winter, and I've said that for a while.
Me too.
Meaning a good, not just massive, meaning a good, productive one.
Me too, and that's the biggest key. So while the emotions are running high today and people are upset and shocked, I still firmly believe in Steve Cohen and David Stearns to be able to build this team. If they traded for Peralta and Trevor McGill from the Brewers, I think they're a billion times better than they were had they brought Edwin Diaz back. I also don't believe Williams is necessarily just the closer. I still think they could get Suarez. Those are the reports. Now, what is Suarez going to cost? Who the hell knows? Do you trust him more than Diaz? No, but I don't think the Mets are just saying, well, Diaz left and Williams is going to be the guy. I just have a hard time justifying... Dude, I mean, Devin Williams was bad this year.
So you don't like it. You just keep going back to this emotion. You are...
I have a hard time justifying giving Devin Williams off the year he had.
Yeah.
The 3-year, $51 million deal versus Diaz getting $369. That does not make sense. It doesn't compute. I could say it, and I have said this, and I can tell myself again, yes, but you're not paying Williams off for this year. You're paying the body of work. Okay, got it. Great. Bingo. Beautiful. $351. Okay, good value. But Diaz has the consistent body of work. He's been better than Devin Williams, specifically better in New York than Devin Williams, and he's been a Met, and it's only 3 years, $69 million. That's what I'm saying. The difference of $18 million, is that enough?
Well, it shouldn't be. But I got two questions, and they are quick, and they are easy answers. Number one, do you think Steve Cohen's cheap?
No.
Number two, do you think David Stearns is dumb?
No.
Okay. So just let that marinate for a moment. If you don't think the owner's cheap, and I agree with you, and you don't think the GM or president of baseball operations is dumb, and I agree with you, let it breathe. I understand the immediate questions, the kickback. Wow, the money, it's 5 years, 100. Now it's 3 for less than 70. That doesn't compute. That's not what the Met fan thought. The owner's not cheap. The GM's not dumb. Let it happen.
BT and Sal on the fan. Let's get back to the calls here, getting the reaction from you guys. Benjamin's in Lawrence. What's up, Benjamin?
How's everything? I don't think that Stearns is dumb, but he definitely thinks he's smarter than he is.
Oh, that's an interesting way to cut the nut. Yeah, go ahead.
He's dumpster diving for guys who could have an up year, a la Severino, and a couple other guys that he's picked up that had a bad year. Maybe they do this, maybe they do that. And now, per The Athletic, they're talking about shipping off Peterson. You need to get used to New York.
So what?
And it doesn't
shipping off Peterson.
Instantly.
So Benjamin, here's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, when you this is where I agree with David Stearns wholeheartedly. When you have a miserable, underperforming 83-win team, everybody could possibly be had. If it were me and it wasn't Soto, and I said this before they started doing this, and thank you for the call, Benjamin, I would have kept Soto and got rid of everybody else, or at least been open to getting rid of everybody else, including trading Francisco Lindor. Now, they didn't do that. They traded Brandon Nimmo instead, and now they let Edwin Diaz go. So I can't sit here and say, well, The Athletic or whatever is reporting that the Mets are open to trading David Peterson. So what? David Peterson was awful when they needed him. And I like Peterson. Good dude, a gamer, but he was god-awful down the stretch. What, are you going to cry about it that David Peterson goes? Nor should you worry about anybody who was a part of that losing season a year ago. They should be shaking things up. My only issue is that it's an $18 million difference. If it were 5 years, $100 million, I was in. Even if it were 4 years and $90 million or $80 million, they could be like, I don't know, I still would have brought him back, but at least I could justify it. You can't justify the same amount of years and only $18 million more over the course of 3 years. So it's not just $18 million in total. It's $18 million divided by 3. See, you're talking about a
$6 million. I know.
$6 million a difference a year for Williams and Diaz.
That's where the emotion comes in. And that's why I do understand that part. That is why I need more info. And that's why I'm not trying to punt it. But that's why when I say, is the owner cheap, is the GM dumb? The answer is no. That's just too obvious for it to be a case of $18 million where the Mets are like, no, we can't afford. No, that's irresponsible. $18 million for the Mets. There's no way that happened. This was forward thinking. I believe it was an organizational, based thing where they were all, maybe not everybody, but most of the decision makers on the same page. And think about last year, right? And not individual players, but the different aspects of the Mets team. Was the starting pitching good? The answer is no. Was the bullpen good outside of Diaz? The answer is no. Was the clutch hitting good? The answer is no. Was the defense up to snuff? Not when Vientos played third base, not when Nimmo in left field with that rag arm. So for the most part, the answer is no. I say this because there are so many things that they have to do before you worry about the ninth inning. But again, if it's $18 million, that's a different reaction. I would just stress, hey, expect 2 new arms in the rotation, another bat or 2, expect a more athletic team, a better defensive team, expect a better team. And for me, the departure of Diaz, while it seems problematic now, should not dissuade the Mets and impair, really, their ability to be a 90-something win team and a playoff team next year. I honestly believe that.
John is calling from St. Louis. What's up, John?
Hey, what's going on, boys? First off, day one listener, you guys are going to be missed. Love the show.
Thanks, buddy.
The earlier Alonso point, one thing that was getting overlooked in your future prediction was COVID cost that guy about 30 home runs in his second
Everybody,
year.
though. Same with Judge.
No, I know. Yeah, no,
you're right. You're right.
The David Stearns thing, I'm trying to look at it with a level head. The guy's only been here a short amount of time. But what positive move? All we know is failure and fan favorites going out the door. Frankie Montas, Jed Lowry level of failure. His trade deadline, abysmal. Ryan Helsley was god-awful. Griffin Canning started out good, hurt. A.J. Minter looked like it was going to be good, hurt. What has he done, David Stearns, to give any Met fan hope? I don't care what he did in Milwaukee.
Yep.
What has he done to give us hope that he is going to put this in the right direction? He hasn't even made a move. Make a move other than Juan Soto, which wasn't even you.
He's only been here for 2 years, though. This is going to be his. This is his off season. This is his off season here. By the way,
you're
John,
starting out behind the 8 ball, Sal, with pissing everybody off.
Well, here's the thing. Joel Sherman just posted this on social media. Mets offer for Diaz was 3 years, $66 million.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me a signing. Okay, so then he goes. That's fine.
No, but it's not that fine. That's not on David Stearns then.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But under his watch, a fan favorite in Nimmo, who is at the tail end of his career, noodle arm, was dropping in the on-base percentage. He's gone, fan favorite. You just lost the fan favorite closer, and your best player, all-time home run leader, and fan favorite in Alonso is a close second behind Diaz.
John,
it's a hard sell to the fan.
John, you're not going to like what I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to ask you. It's all good. And my question was going to be, and with all those fan favorites, what have you won?
Yeah, well.
You know what I'm saying?
We didn't need John to hang on and know that answer.
That's the question. Wow. All right, so the Mets...
Sherman again, I'm sorry, BT. Mets expressed that there was wiggle room to go higher, but Diaz went to the Dodgers.
He wanted to be a Dodger, man.
Okay, but that... So everybody's got to calm down.
Well, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, I know. You're right. We didn't know the facts of it. And I said, even though it was borderline about to lose it, give the Mets the benefit of the doubt because it didn't make sense.
Yes.
The fact that they offered 3 for $66 is enough for me. And they said that they expressed that there was wiggle room to go higher. Diaz wanted to go to the Dodgers.
There you go.
I want to go to the Dodgers.
Yep.
Oh, I want to go play the trumpets in L.A.
Can't beat him, join
New York. Good. See you later.
There we go, Sal.
See you later.
That's the pit bull that we won.
I don't go to many games anymore. I can't wait to go to Citi Field when Diaz comes back as a Dodger. I'd play the trumpets to troll his ass when he comes back out and hope to stick it to him. And speaking of stick it to him, how about the sticky stuff that he had to use to get suspended in 2020? Well, let's not make it like Edwin Diaz was some saint here with the New York Mets. He was the worst closer that I've ever seen in 2019. He got injured in the selfish WBC. Okay, you didn't have to do that. He torpedoed the Mets season. I said it then. Buck Showalter said it recently, so we all knew that. And he selfishly got suspended, which hurt the Mets in 2024 with the sticky stuff. And now he chose the Dodgers for equal money. So when Met fans sit here and tell you, well, everybody loves it here and they want to be back. Bull crap. This wasn't even about the money. He didn't want to be here. He couldn't handle the New York smoke anymore, poor Edwin. See you later. Good riddance.
I mean, the man just wants to play for a winner. Can you fault him?
No, not really.
I got nothing to add. That was a great rant. But yeah, I know people want to call. Well done. I was waiting for that. So come on, man. You gotta bust one of those out before it wraps up for us here. Good job.
PT and Sal, the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
The top story in New York football, it's the fact that Tomlin is coming.
I will believe that when I see that.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. After all the opinions and his draft day slide to the 5th round, Shedeur Sanders is proving there is a place for him in the NFL. The rookie just earned the Browns' starting job for the rest of the season after a 364-yard, 3-touchdown breakout performance against Tennessee. He's Cleveland's 3rd starter this year, but easily its most promising, showing poise, fight, and growth every week. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
COVID-19 has cast a spotlight on the stark inequalities that drive poverty. The poorest communities in the U.S. and around the world are suffering the most. Oxfam believes we can put systems in place to protect health and livelihoods in the future if we work together with dignity and compassion. Learn how you can help offer safety to the most vulnerable and fight for a more resilient future at oxfamamerica.org. Sponsored by Oxfam America.
Now's the time to enroll in quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. All plans provide free preventive care, coverage for prescriptions, emergency services, and more. Plus, 8 in 10 get financial help. Enroll by December 31st for January 1st coverage at getcovered.nj.gov.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric and discover the comfort of this spacious 3-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. Accident victims, I understand how an accident can turn your world upside down. You're in pain. You need medical care. You can't work. You're struggling to pay your bills, and you don't have a clue what your rights are. So what do? Call the first law firm that pops up on the internet? Look for the best website? Or say, hey, find me a lawyer? The options are endless, but the answers are simple. Ask around, read reviews, and go with your gut. Great law firms build great reputations. I built D'Agostino & Associates one client at a time by doing the right thing for accident victims just like you. Our clients know my team cares, and we're going to fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So call me today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, and we'll come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business?
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
I would 1,000% play this and troll Diaz when he comes back. Put the pressure on him. And then, it takes him 2 or 3 batters to get warmed up anyway. And then imagine him soil himself at the sight of Juan Soto stepping into the batter's box against him. Good riddance, Edwin Diaz. Can't wait to discuss this tonight on Baseball Night in New York on SNY. And Sports Night tonight.
I told you the time. Was it I may have 2 games kind of crisscrossing wires here. I think it was the same game, but maybe not. Remember the game where Nimbo, I think it was against the Dodgers, Nimbo made that crazy catch in center field, scale in the center field.
Yes.
I think with did DeGrom pitch? It was like 1-0.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I was I was on Long Beach, Long Island that day. I remember because it must have been. It was definitely the summer. I was going to say it was a Labor Day weekend, maybe. Anyway, yes, he made that tremendous catch. It might have been DeGrom.
And I remember watching the game. Not that we're a Yankee fan, but we had the game on. Yanks were over. Put the Mets on. And Nimmo made that catch, which, whatever, my son didn't really react to that. It was all about Aaron Judge. But then this guy comes in with the trumpets. And I'm like, oh, my God, shut this off. My son's getting excited by the trumpets here. So I made sure I snuffed that out fast here. But I also wonder, like, the emotion. I know you don't care about this. Trust me, I know that. But I bet you there's some out there that are, the Timmy trumpets, the entrance, like more than just a little bit of the baseball stuff kind of seeping into their emotional response.
I'm sure there will be. I got a text from my buddy Steve Hirsch, big Met fan. He, quote, "The trumpets were the worst thing to ever happen to the Mets in the last few years. They brought Timmy Trumpet out to play the song live, and then they lost every game in September 22. Good riddance."
Yeah, I mean, that definitely was, when they did that, when he did the live spot there, that was a mark where the Mets did not recover from.
There are going to be a lot of angry Met fans today.
All right. What's different from that from the last 40 years?
You're truly included. Here's the thing. Just make sure we direct our anger in the correct spot. And I think people have been waiting to pounce on Stearns. I mean, we actually had a caller earlier had the audacity to say that he thinks Steve Cohen was all about the casino and not about the team. Steve Cohen and Stearns will punch back. The Mets are unkillable! They're unkillable!
There you go.
They will punch back! I guarantee it!
We're pulling out all the
Playoffs
stops.
with Devin!
You are freaking out of you.
Playoffs with Devin!
Oh, man. Don't stop there. There was some other one. Figure it out. Stop walking around, work like a loser. Come on, keep going. Do the whole thing.
The one thing I ask is that Steve Cohen, for the love of God, pretty please, King Cohen. I'm literally on my knees. Pretty please make a big signing or trade over the next couple of days. I lost my chair.
You lost
so I can break out the music and maybe even the cape. I got to go get it as I'm moving stuff out of the office.
By the way, how much of the office is cleaned out? I got to get my Mattingly poster. I got a couple of posts, St. John's poster.
And there's literally 2 things on the wall.
What, the Cohen thing and the Mattingly thing?
No, your Mattingly poster and the St. John's thing. Everything else is down.
Everything's gone?
I took it down, yeah.
That's depressing.
Well, they're moving.
No, I get it, but no, I know.
They're moving stuff. Anyway, I want to get out of there.
Poster.
You don't know where stuff is around here. You leave stuff in the office, it goes missing. You put stuff outside so people can take it. They take everything.
The baseball cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to make sure the stuff's there. All right. Anyway, make sure that the anger is directed in the proper channels. Everybody's upset with Stearns and Cohen. They were upset about the Nimmo thing. They're nervous about the Pete thing. And now without Diaz, it's going to be toward them. But based on the reports, to me, it is clear what you were insinuating early, that it just seems like maybe he just wanted to go to the Dodgers because that math doesn't make any sense. And then the reports are saying that the Mets were 3 for 66 and there was room to grow.
That's the key part there.
Okay, so if that's the case, then this is on Diaz.
That's why you got to maintain balance here with this one.
Also got a text from Johnny Franco, said he's thinking about coming out of retirement. So there you have it.
Franco? He's going to have to set up. He can't close at this point. He's going to have to set up.
Phil Rivers should do it.
Keep those change-ups low, Johnny.
Johnny's going to make a comeback. I mean, the idea that close are getting what they are. Poor Johnny missed out.
He did miss out.
But here's the thing. And all due respect to Johnny, you have to be fair to Diaz. He's been the best closer that the Mets have ever had.
I would agree with that.
I could look at now. John, he's not as lovable as Johnny.
No, he's not from here like Johnny, Staten Island. No, the sanitation shirt for his pops under his jersey.
The longevity, all that stuff.
St. John's, what are you kidding me? He's not John.
Familia in 15 and 16 was as good as I've seen in recent years.
Neil Allen was the best before your time.
I don't recall him.
I'm just telling you. I mean, he wasn't quite like this, but he was their best closer for a couple years.
For me, it starts with Orozco and McDowell and those
but
guys.
They split the duties. I never really looked at
Then I know.
You know what I mean?
Then Johnny was the guy for a long time. Benitez,
Benitez was the worst.
He was all right, but
he drove you guys nuts.
100%. Wagner, even with the Mets. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. I think he should be in. Dude, Edwin Diaz, though, as far as just a Met closer, not overall closer. Remember, Johnny had great years with the Reds.
The Reds. He was an all-star a couple times with the Reds.
I would never say that Diaz has a better career than Johnny. I'm just talking about as far as the most dominant closers for the Mets. Diaz, in my lifetime, from 2020, certainly 2022 on, but now you're talking about 2022, 2024, 2025, that's only 3 years. 2020, better than 2019, but 2019 was an unmitigated disaster to epic proportions. 2021, a little bit better, but from 2022, 2024, 2025, as good of 3 seasons as I've ever felt in my life about a particular closer.
You got to lead the games over. I get that.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you. Obviously, discounting like an actual occurrence in a game, like losing a heartbreaking game, that supersedes everything. If I just play the emotional game for a moment, since the Met fan is definitely on edge, and I get it. Imagine if Pete Alonso, the announcement comes today that Pete's gone. This would be, and I'm really asking, but I really think I'm stating the more I think about it, this would be the absolute worst emotional day in the history of the Mets.
No.
What else? I'm kind of throwing it out there to talk about it.
Seaver, Game 5, 2000 World Series.
I'm not talking about games. That's why I preface it with not a game situation. You know what? I was thinking really post-80. You're right. Seaver, 77, Midnight Massacre, 4 Reds.
And you're
Seaver
taking
in a
games
place
out
by
of
himself.
You're taking games out of it.
Of course, no games. Think about when DeGrom left. Think about when Doc left. Think about when Darryl left.
Reyes leaving was bad.
But people are mad now with Diaz. Then they would be mad with Pete and hurt with Pete. I mean, it's a perfect storm. It's a tsunami of 2 different waves. If that were to happen today, Pete, 6-year deal with the Red Sox. Pete, 5 years deal, 5+1 with Baltimore. Oh, my God. I think today would be the day.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls. We'll do Diaz the entire final hour of the show. When we come back, 888-808-1019.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
Can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash.
Nugget Bills, nuggets all the way.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing them when we cut down the Christmas tree.
We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain. We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon. At 1 o'clock, I'm Andrew Bogus. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life. The holidays around the corner, which means now's the time to get your gifts together. Luckily, our friends at Flag and Anthem make gift giving easy. They've got tons of deals happening right now for every gift giving budget. Head to flagandanthem.com and stock up for the holidays. Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life. The Post says the Mets' last offer for Edwin Diaz, 3 years and $66 million with, quote, some moderate deferrals. With Diaz taking just $3 million more from the Dodgers, it appears that he just preferred LA, but there are still questions that need answering. As for Pete Alonso, he'll be at the winter meeting shortly to meet with the Red Sox, the Orioles, and maybe the Mets. Here's his agent, Scott Boras, being Scott Boras.
The polar vortex of last year is kind of thawed. So, this market is, that prior bear market is exhausted. So now we kind of have the running of the bulls in Tamplusa.
No breakup in Philly. Meanwhile, Kyle Schwarber said to be staying with the Phillies 5 years, $150 million. The Knicks, an 8:30 tip in Toronto in the NBA Cup quarterfinals. And the Indianapolis Colts apparently signing 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. This after Daniel Jones tore his Achilles Sunday and rookie Riley Leonard hurt his knee in relief. Fan weather, it is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. It's 28 degrees under sunny skies in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogan.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and South Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. We're keeping the updates here coming as we get them, and you pay attention to social media, and they're happening quite often. Joel Sherman has been on fire today. The latest saying with Schwarber back with the Phillies, the dam will break on the position player movement now. One to watch, Diamondbacks and Ketel Marte. So keep an eye on that.
I saw the Red Sox might be interested in trading for him. Marte.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do the math with the Red Sox. They were supposed to have a quote, serious meeting with Bo Bichette. Anyway, so the big news of the day is the Diaz stuff. And there are no more really layers to dissect from it. Bottom line is Diaz took 3 years, $69 million from the Dodgers. The Mets' last offer to him was 3 years, $66 million with wiggle room to go up. So he chose instead to go to L.A., This is not a David Stearns or Steve Cohen saying we don't want them. They were right there with the market value. They wanted them back. He chose to go elsewhere. And now the Mets are going to have to choose to go elsewhere in their bullpen. I mean, it's as simple as that. Because here's what I won't accept at this point. Devin Williams being the closer. I said that last week because I knew that it wasn't going to happen. I was like, they'll bring Diaz. If they have to as a drop. I was using leverage, BT.
All right.
If they have to have Devin Williams be the closer, so be it. Yeah. But Diaz, and now that Diaz is officially gone, you can't go into the season with Devin Williams as the closer. I'm sorry, it can't happen. So I like Williams in the signing, and maybe there's some value there. He can't be the closer for the Mets. You can't do it. Not after what he did in New York in year one as the closer. Can't do it.
Well, I mean, listen, to me, I would disagree in the sense that there's a lot of evidence out there where Yankees got Bednar. I mean, so there's always you could always do something mid-season.
Right.
And I do think that Devin Williams is going to be much. I mean, I think he's not going to have an April with an ERA of 9. I can promise you that. So he's going to get off to a better start with the Mets and probably won't be as volatile, which means he probably won't lose his closer spot if there's not a Suarez or, somebody else that winds up coming in that would put him in the 8th inning rather than the 9th. But see, back to your original thing, because I think this is the crux of the matter here, at least pertaining to the emotional edge of today. All right, so if Diaz didn't want to be a Met, and Met fans need to understand that and move on. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if he wanted to be a Met, if he was truly torn and he wasn't sure, then this is how the conversation should have gone and would have gone between Diaz and his rep. Hey, I'm gonna play both sides. I'll do it quick. Now I'm first on the agent. Hey, Dodgers, 3 years, $69 million. The Mets are at $366, but Stearns said he's got some wiggle room to go up. Now I'll take the Dodgers offer. If you really want to be a Met, what you at least do is explore the possibility. How much wiggle room does he have? Is it going to be 3 years, 75? Could it be 3 years, 77? He didn't even care to find out what the difference would be, which was clearly communicated to him because the Mets, as per the reporting, communicated it to his agent, which if he doesn't tell his client, he's an idiot, which he did. So what Diaz said was, I'm good. I want to be a Dodger. That's the simplest explanation of what happened. So doesn't mean you can't be disappointed. Doesn't mean you can't be confused. Doesn't mean you can't be worried about the back end of the bullpen. And you do what you want to do. But what it should mean, with all due respect, you got to have the proper target. Where you channel the ire needs to go to the proper spot, and I don't think it's the Mets in this equation.
You think there's anything to the usage of Diaz? I mean, remember Ottavino was talking about it with how he didn't like the way that Mendy used the bullpen.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I mean, I'm just trying to come up with reasons for why this guy, who has been a Met for a long time, and all indications were that he wanted to be here. When he was a free agent last time, he was one of the first ones off the board. They came to that agreement, 5 years, $100 million, easy peasy, away we go. Let's move on with our lives. He was here. He was a successful Met. There were no signs that there were any issues with Diaz and the Mets. Why the hell would he take the same money, basically, maybe even less, to go to the Dodgers? So, okay, yeah, you could say, well, he wants to win a championship. All right, nothing's guaranteed. The Dodgers are really going to win 3 in a row. Who knows? We'll find out, but that's not guaranteed. So the idea of chasing a championship to me is a little faulty, but okay, fair enough. I don't think that that's enough to justify his reasoning. What if maybe there was some truth to what Ottavino was saying? And I'm just speculating, going based off of what he said. I'm still Team Mendy and believe in the way that he handles everything. But, I mean, could that have factored in? Maybe at some point we'll find out when Diaz addresses the media for why he made this decision. But it just, on face value, it does not make any sense. The idea that the Mets would sign Williams for 3 for 51 and not sign Diaz for 3 for 69 made no sense. Well, we found out why that's the case. They were going to sign Diaz for 3 for 69. If he gave him the chance to, he didn't. So now I want to know, why would he leave for the Dodgers instead of staying with the Mets, with the familiarity and with the apparent love affair with the organization and ownership? It doesn't make any sense.
This kind of goes back to what I said before about him not even giving the Mets a chance to explain what that upward mobility, or whatever the term was, I don't know, however it was framed, that the Mets could go off the 66. For him to not even explore that tells me that it's something less than, or something more than just trying to win a championship to increase the odds. Now, could it be obviously a better team in a better situation with better weather? I mean, it could be. Maybe he's got some buddies on the team that we don't really know. I know his brother was with the team. Maybe they bring him back, whatever. I don't know. But championship, legitimate championship aspiration or expectations, plus weather, plus comparable money. I mean, that's not a bad thing in my book either. Could it be that? I don't know. Could be. Could it be the usage thing? I don't know. It could be. Could it just be that it's really not a good clubhouse? I mean, I don't know that we could rule that out. I'm not, and it's not like a lazy statement. It's just trying to explore what is wrong with the Mets, because something has not been right. I don't pretend to know the origin of it. We've theorized many times on the show, and so far we've been proven right with a lot of those things. But I don't know. Maybe just didn't enjoy being a Met. I mean, people need to understand that that's on the list of possibilities, Sal. It's possible.
Yeah, I know, but he did sign here for 5 years, $100 million not too long ago.
I know. But
and he did say that he wanted to be back. It wasn't just like with the Yankees, we knew that there was no interest in bringing Devin Williams back from the get-go after last year. They didn't have any interest in doing it.
Correct.
With Diaz, there was never a whisper about him not being happy or him not considering a return with the Mets. It could just be politics, too, being smart about it, not taking the Mets out of the equation. I put it this way. I don't know, BT, but I would just answer it. I don't believe this had anything to do with the clubhouse stuff, which I do think now is getting to a point where it's out of control and being blown out of proportion.
Listen, is there a heightened sensationalism to a potential issue that's being blown out of proportion, made a lot worse than it really is? Yeah, it's probably something like that. I don't think it's nearly as dire or catastrophic as some make it out to be. But again, the thing that I keep circling and it's like me putting on my detective hat. I keep going back to this. So you really like it here. You've been here for a bunch of years. You've had some epic seasons, and the money is comparable. And you're told we got more if you want it, and you don't have the next conversation. That tells me you don't want to be here, Sal.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Maurice is calling from Greensboro, North Carolina. What's up, Maurice?
Hey, BT, Sal, man. Love to hear you guys, man.
Thank you.
Hey, just two things I want to say. BT, I'm a Jets fan and Mets fan. So you have to look at the culture, like you said earlier, man. You're talking about a combined 96 years before a championship. 69 with the Jets, 86 with the Mets. It's terrible. As it goes for overall with the Diaz situation, Diaz probably said the Dodgers, they've won a championship every decade since the 50s. So they probably say, I'm just going to go there, easy pick. You got Ohtani's AP Player of the Year. Let Diaz go. We just got to have to get Suarez. Stearns got his homegrown boy with Williams. I believe Stearns built this from his way up. He wanted to build it, and he wanted to take control of that, and it's going to be his team. This is his make year.
Yeah, as he should. Yeah. He should want to build it his way. And thank you for the call, Maurice.
By the way, I looked it up just to try to, obviously be on point with this. I don't think it was a usage thing, and we did have the conversation with Ottavino, but he was tied for 80th in appearances last year in baseball. So unless he was protesting for some of his teammates, maybe who got overly taxed, it did not apply to Edwin Williams.
Good.
I just wanted to check that out.
Edwin
Diaz, not Edwin Williams,
okay.
probably. Edwin Diaz, 80, was tied for 80th in appearances last year. Yep.
Scott Bohr, I'm just paying attention
What's
to
he
social
saying
media.
now? Is he still rhyming?
Oh, dude.
What's Bohr
Hop,
saying?
can you pull this up? Because instead of me reading it, the SNY had it on their Twitter feed, the latest quote from Boris. It's about Scooble.
Oh.
It's cringeworthy, but we got to play it.
This is the whole stupid rhymes again?
Me reading it probably wouldn't do it justice.
Actually, you should read it in a funny voice. It's
Yeah,
probably even funnier.
let's see. Go ahead.
Maybe I'll.
Scooble is metrically dominant, both in advanced and traditional measures.
Check.
I mean, he's truly a saber-proof tiger.
It's actually pretty witty, but he's annoying by now.
When if you want to look at the tail of the tiger.
Oh, God.
Without Scoobs, they're a mystery machine.
That's horrible. That last part was
you get
a
it?
0. I get it all. Yeah. Was a 0 out of 100, that last part. First one was okay. Second one was actually really witty. That third part with the tail was as idiotic as it gets. Step aside, dude. Get lost. I got no tolerance for this nonsense now.
It took a little while. We're getting there.
Yeah.
That's just bad.
It's corny, man. It's all the way. It's just corny.
I thought it was worth. You know what I'm saying?
It's worth playing for sure.
I could do it, Justin. Gus is calling from Mamaroneck. What's up, Gus?
Gus.
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Great.
Listen, BT, I agree with you. As far as there might have been something wrong in the clubhouse. But, aside from all that, I'm not going to be critical of Stearns right now. Okay? I want to see how this thing all plays out. But what puzzles me is that when you have key players like Alonso and Diaz, I know Diaz, you guys came to the conclusion that he doesn't want to be here. Probably true. Okay, but you can't really rule it as a definite.
Yep.
But the thing is this: they have.
What do you think it is, Gus? Just curious. What do you think it is?
I do believe there's some truth to the fact that there was trouble in the clubhouse due to a story written, I don't know by whom, that it was about Lindor and Soto not getting along.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with Diaz. And plus, he's a bullpen guy.
But also factor in McNeil, who I don't even know why he's still on the team. Okay,
all right, but do the math. Why do you think he's on the team? How about because he's got no value elsewhere? I mean, they've been trying to trade him for 4 years. Nobody wants him.
I know, because he's a head case, and
he's not really that good.
No, you're not. You're right. And as far as I'm curious to see what moves we're going to make from here on. And I just want to ask you one question. You guys touched on the Hall of Fame earlier.
Yep, with the home runs from Pete. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. My question to you is this: is Harold Reynolds chosen before Don Mattingly,
Harold Baines? Yeah, Harold Baines.
I mean, Harold Baines.
Yep.
Excuse me,
Yep.
Harold Baines.
Yep.
I mean, what
possessed
them to name him?
Gus, it's a joke. It's really a joke. Thanks for the call. I'm not going to get too far down that rabbit hole. Just to answer it very quickly, Gus, I'm sure you sound like you've been around a little bit. Not to date your voice, but you sound like we're kind of coming from. You're not 20 years old, is my guess, right? So you and I and Sal have seen a lot of the same things. I think what we have to do is that we have to modify whatever we thought the Hall of Fame was. We've got to now understand that it's not that, and that it's evolving, and that it's changing, and that the bar is lowering. That's my opinion on that. Let me throw this in. Did you want to answer that or no?
No.
All right, real quick. I didn't think so. Real quick. Imagine the day that the Mets got eliminated last year. We come in, right, after we grind through it, take the calls. I say, hey, Sal, by the way, I need a percentage of a possibility that on opening day 2026, not only will Brandon Nimmo be gone, Edwin Diaz will be gone, and Pete Alonso will be gone. Now, Pete's not gone yet, and hopefully he's not for the Met fans, but 66% and 2/3, my third grade Met teacher would be proud of that, is gone. So the possibility is now very distinct. What would your handicap percentage be? Mets get eliminated. I present you those three guys gone. What percentage?
I would say there would have been a good percentage that there would have been significant change.
But those three.
Well, I would have been.
Diaz would have been back.
Correct.
Yes.
Individually, that's the one that surprises me the most because he has been the most consistent, best performer of the bunch, and to me, the better investment moving forward. I understand what Pete brings, but it's going to be a riskier investment in Pete than it would have been with Diaz, assuming that you could get him, especially with this. I thought that there was a chance the Mets would go to 4 or 5 years. You didn't even have to do that.
I did never like that.
But you didn't even have to do that.
Yeah.
So especially knowing this, I'm actually, if you were like, I'm not surprised that they traded Nimmo. I expected them to. I said that they should do that in season. They needed that type of move. Now they could keep saying, "Well, the Rangers came to us; they really wanted them." Okay, that's great. Where would you be without if you still had Brandon Nimmo in the lineup? To me, that would be you'd be far worse off. You needed to change something. It's not picking on Nimmo in isolation. You can't run it back. It can't be, well, we love Nimmo, he's our guy. We love Diaz, he's our guy. We love Pete, he's our guy. It wasn't good enough. Not only was it good, it wasn't even close to good enough. We say the Yankees weren't good enough. They actually won 94 games and made the postseason again. And they tied for the division lead. The Mets wasn't even close to good enough.
And won around.
Yeah.
Won around in the playoffs.
Bingo. The Mets weren't even close to good enough. They missed the playoffs. Forget the division. That was an afterthought. So it's not even close to good enough, and you want to run it back with the same guy. So that had to change. But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't surprised that Diaz is second to go.
And by the way, saying, and you said this earlier, you took some heat for it too. Spot on. The Nimmo aspect, like it's one thing to say as a concept, Mets should move on from Nimmo. It's another thing with the remaining years. Now, it's not like he's making $35 million a year. It's not untradeable, but there's a lot of meat on that contract bone. So for the Mets to do that, that's smart. Listen, I just think that, and I don't know, and I'm not going to throw darts where I don't know if I'm going to hit. I don't need to hit a bullseye, but I got to at least hit the dartboard when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm going to throw it very softly, but I'm going to go back to the nature of the Mets clubhouse. There's a lot of smoke there. Who was the real captain, Nimmo or Lindor? Does Lindor and Soto have a little beef? I don't know, and I really don't care. Figure it out. You're grown men. You're on the same team. But if there is a little problem, it's got to be resolved. Well, now you got a former pitcher who was there popping off saying the usage is irresponsible. The manager has no idea what he's doing. Pete's goofy in his own kind of weird way, which is appealing to some and probably turn off to others. Then you got a bunch of kids who don't know where the hell they are yet because they're kids in Major League Baseball. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad clubhouse, but nobody can convince me that it's a good one. I think it's one that's in transition, and I think by doing what they've done so far is a good step in that direction.
BT and Sal on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We'll continue with your calls right after this. Same thing, Edwin Diaz. Let's get more breaking news. It's going to be Edwin Diaz hearing from you on your thoughts.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Play of the day in college basketball is Columbia laying 4.5 points on the road at Stony Brook. Columbia comes in with a 9.
Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I checked my list once, twice, all done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Rogue Platinum, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 1/5/26.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great, but I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Facing lymphoma, leukemia, or myeloma, John Thurr Cancer Center at Hackensack and Jersey Shore University Medical Centers offers pioneering life-saving options. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, head of the state's largest, most experienced CAR T-cell program, a treatment empowering your immune system to fight cancer. For personalized quality care in Hackensack or Neptune from the state's best cancer program, call 833-CANCER-MD.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
15 South back on the Fan. Hey, let's get you a little concert. Avenged Sevenfold. Call their number 10 right now. 866-540-WFAN. That number again is 866-540-9326. Hoff was saying he likes the Avenged Sevenfold. He's a fan of their work. And that's your chance to win a pair of tickets to see them at UBS Arena coming up at the end of the summer, August 10th. So courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets going on sale this Friday, 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Call their 10, 866-540-WFAN. Avenged Sevenfold.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. We'll continue with your calls here. The news that, look, I've seen some stuff on social media as well. Everybody going, oh, this is a dark day in Mets history. What are you kidding me? I don't think that's the case. Now, you added on the tack on Pete Alonso. Then, yeah, I mean, you start to think about that, losing Diaz and Alonso in the same day. Of course, maybe that hurt a little bit. I'm excited for the new possibilities. This is not the old Mets. They're going to replace the guys that they lose. If, in fact, they lose everybody, they're going to get an outfielder and replace Brandon Nimmo, and they're going to get a first baseman, whether it's Pete or somebody else. They're going to get a big bat. They have to. They can't be taken seriously otherwise. They're going to get another arm in the bullpen. I'm expecting it to be better than Devin Williams, but I guess worst case is Devin Williams is the closer to start the year, and potentially the Mets then could either upgrade that bullpen in season or maybe get a lesser reliever. But I would fully expect the Mets make one big signing in the bullpen, add one big bat in the outfield, and I'm expecting to bring Pete Alonso back. I mean, I felt that way for a while, although I always thought that if they were not going to budge beyond the 3 years, then he would be a goner. But maybe the market is now saying that they might not have to for Pete Alonso. So I'm not so sure where it's at with Alonso in the market. And maybe the Mets do now because they lost that on Diaz. Maybe they do extend an extra year beyond where they wanted to for Alonso.
If I was... I never really defined the number. That's why I'm kind of thinking about like my mindset with Pete. If I was 40% that he was staying before the Schwarber deal, meaning 60% that he was gone, a little bit more gone, and that I've said, I just didn't attach a definitive number to it, then I would say, based on the 5 years, 150 that Schwarber got, the number's not going from 40 to 50, it's going from 40 to 30. Okay. I think it's less likely that Pete's back because I don't think the Mets are going 5 or 6 years.
Okay, forget Schwarber for a second. Do you think it's more likely that the Mets, after knowing that they lose Diaz, more likely that they would be willing to bring Pete back and overextend? Or is the thought process, well, we've traded Nimmo, we've lost Diaz.
Band-Aid off?
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's just, we're already there. Just rip the whole thing off and let's build it. We want him back. We want him back at our price.
Which they've always had.
Correct.
And you've always said that.
Same
so
thing
I
about
don't think
Diaz.
that's going to change.
They
The
said
sentiment, the reaction is not going to change what they do.
Okay.
Nor should it. They are going to get blown up. They're going to get crushed on X and crushed on Instagram and crushed on the radio and crushed all over, probably crushed in the papers. But I think one of the good things about having Stearns here, who hasn't been here very long, is that there's going to be a callousness in terms of how he handles this and a detachment from emotion, which is required. So, no, I don't think that he's sitting there, or even Cohen at this point, sitting there saying, oh, my God. All right, so they reacted this way when we lost Nimmo. Listen to him now. We lost Diaz. You know what? Hell with it, man. We don't really want him for 5 years. Let's just give him the extra year or two just to shut him up. The Mets are not doing that with Pete. Now, I'm not saying they absolutely won't get Pete, but they won't add irresponsible years they don't believe in right now.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Ray is in Waterbury. What's up, Ray?
Hey, Ray.
Hi, guys. Great show as usual. Now let's flip the script a little bit. Let's make a big signing or two before we leave the meetings. You know, and turn the attitude toward the positive side. You know what? Let Diaz go. The bottom line is he didn't want to be here. That you guys found the proof there because they were offered to give him more money. So let's. I hope they bring Pete back, but let's get a starting pitcher and a bat or two starting pitchers before the meeting is over. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah. We know what you mean. I know, he knows, we know. Thank you for the call there, Ray. Listen, I think even if it was announced instead of the exact opposite, let's go 3 years, $73 million, bang, Diaz retained, staying with the Mets rather than $369 going to the Dodgers. If that was the news that we got, the Mets still are not a playoff team without the proper moves leading up to whatever they have to do. There's a lot of dots to connect. Now, I understand the thought. I really do. This is logical, all right, although there's a way to work around it. It's logical to say, well, we weren't good enough last year with Diaz. We won 83 games with Diaz. Now we lost Nimmo, who hit 20-something home runs and isn't great, but is obviously fine. Yeah. We could lose Pete, who's going to bang 40, and we lost one of the best closers in baseball. What the hell are we doing? Well, that's what the rest of the winter is for.
I know, and as I say that this is not an awful day, it is frustrating in that, forget about the fans' perspective for a second, look at it from the Mets' perspective. This is clearly a player that they wanted back.
Yeah.
If they go to 3 for 66 with the wiggle room to go higher, they wanted to bring him back. He just chose to go elsewhere, which means they are forced to go to their plan B. So it's going to be less than whatever it was. Now, I hope that wakes Steve Cohen up a little bit, like the Syndergaard move. Remember when Syndergaard, they wanted to bring him back, but then he ended up taking the 1 year with the Angels.
Yeah, I remember.
And then it was like, okay. And then it was an element where he got pissed off. I forget exactly what followed, but was that when he went and got Scherzer? I think it was. They got Scherzer after that.
So that would have been 2022?
Right.
Does that sound right?
Prior to the 2022 season?
Yeah, right after the 21 season. Yeah, that sounds right.
My hope is that Cohen says, all right, we tried to bring him back. He doesn't like it. Yeah, good. We're going to do bigger and better. Now let's go to this way and that way. Because it's not just on one player, but you'd be lying to yourselves if you didn't think that the Mets wanted Diaz back. They did.
They did, but how much? That's debatable.
But no, they would have taken it back at 3 years, 69. I mean, that's basically reported.
Yes. Here's what I would like to know. I would like to know. See, this is not like when Japanese players posted there's blind bids. What offer did they have first?
The Mets. Oh, you mean the Dodgers?
The Diaz camp. Did the Diaz camp first have 3 years, 69 from the Dodgers, or 3 years, 66 from the Mets? No, I'll tell you why it does matter. I think it matters, or it could matter. Not definitely, but it could. Because if this is all about the psychology of showing how much you want him and then trying to get him to want you back. Again, if the Dodgers offer came in first and that was communicated to the Mets, hey, he loves New York, 3 years, 69, that's what the Dodgers offered. And Stearns then goes, well, we're prepared to go 366 with some upward mobility. I could see Diaz being turned off by that. If it was the Mets who first gave it and they were like 366, but maybe we can go up if we have to, and then the Dodgers come in and he just says, you know what, I want to go to a better team, better weather. I think
but it's $3 million.
And not about the money. About the
fact that somebody else would want to give you more. Well, but it's only $3 million.
No. You're looking at it the wrong way with all due respect. Not just money. I'm talking about respect, right? Because it's not $3 million or $9 million in over the 3 years. It's, hey, Diaz, Edwin, the Dodgers, and we told the Mets this, 69 from them, the Mets went lower than the Dodgers. There's an element of disrespect when your current employer offers you less money for the same amount of terms than somebody else who wants you more.
But I understand that. I would say that if the Mets offered 60 and the Dodgers offered 69, the Mets offered 66. You're talking about $1 million per year. That to me is same ballpark. All right, the Mets undershot it by $3 million total. Okay, let's say that happens and you really wanted to be with your current employer, you would go back to them and say, hey, they're $3 million more. Can we make up this difference? Just give me the same as what they're giving, and then we go back. Like, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yes, but that's why to me it's more about symbolism than the extra few dollars that are laying around there.
Nick is calling from St. Augustine, Florida. What's up, Nick?
Hey, what's up, guys? Great show. I hope the new show is on somewhere between 2 and 6 p.m. whenever you guys start that up. Listen, I'm tired of Stearns. I got to get to a trade that would be good for Steinbrenner and Cohen. All right, it's going to be a trade between them. But I don't want to be the Milwaukee Brewers. I want to be the Dodgers. I'm tired of hearing about what he did in the National League's worst division with a team that never won a championship, never went anywhere. I'm tired of Stearns. The reason why the Mets can't even retain their players because last year Stearns didn't go big after getting Soto, did not fill out a pitching staff, so we lost 80-something games. It was a horrible season. No one wants to stay here anymore. The Dodgers spend $40 million more a year. If the Mets would have just put that money into the damn pitching staff last year, maybe they have a winner and other people want to come here. And here's what's best for Cohen, and here's what's best for Hal. Trade Cashman for Stearns. The way Hal wants to operate is the way Stearns wants to operate, and the way Cohen wants to operate is the way Cashman, I know, would operate if they didn't have the handcuffs on him over there in Yankee Stadium. So make a trade right now. Stearns for Cashman, done. And then everyone's going to be happy. Cashman's going to go out and spend $400 million. The Mets are going to have the best players that are around. And Stearns can go and whittle his thumbs with the Yankees and figure out how to have a $240 million payroll on a great team.
Yeah, but hold on. You say good call, good energy, good stuff. Interesting angle, too. Creative. Give you points there. You say that everybody would be happy. I don't think I would be happy with that. As much as I get on Cashman, right now, I'll take Cashman over Stearns until Stearns does it here.
I would
take
not.
Cashman.
I think the Yankees need fresh. It's not the thing with Cashman. It's not a knock on Cashman and his acumen. It's that he's been the same stale voice forever, doing the same exact thing, and the Yankees should be getting to a higher level. Whereas, would the Mets welcome the consistency, the sustained success that Cashman had? Sure. I'd like to see Cashman have as much success as Stearns had in Milwaukee. We're going to get to Stearns had success with far less than anything Cashman's had to work with Milwaukee. It's impossible to judge a general manager based off of 2 years, especially when he inherited.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm just answering his thing about the whole. And by the way, if Stearns was the GM of the Yankees last year, Yankees don't have Fried. Yankees don't make the playoffs probably like the Mets.
We're learning we're going to learn about David Stearns now. He had a first year to evaluate and assess. The Mets won. He had to, even if it was against his better judgment, had to continue with that team. Maybe it would have been better off if they continued the way that they started 2024 and just bottomed out then, and then they could really strip down the core last offseason and started to build it back up. Would they be in play for Soto then? Who knows what the domino effect would have been there. Here's what we do know. David Stearns is now putting his fingerprints all over this team. He's going to bring in guys that he wants, not that you or I want, not what the fans want, and apparently not even what Steve Cohen wants. Steve Cohen's going to let him do his thing, as he should. Yep. How could he evaluate him if he says, no, go get this guy, and then Stearns at the end of it's like, yeah, we lost, but I didn't want to sign this guy. Let him do what he's got to do. And then at the end of it, at year 3, if the Mets fail again, then he's either going to be without a job or he's going to be squarely in the line of fire for the 4th and probably final year if he fails then.
As it should be. I think the complicated nature of building this team and his vision is that he inherited a lot of players with deficiencies that he cannot overlook. You have to understand, he's a defensive guy. And the Brewers catch the ball and the Brewers run. Now, the Brewers are also championship like the Mets since 86, but when you inherit Nimmo, who can't throw, when you inherit Pete, who can't turn a double play and can't throw, when you inherit, whatever you had at third base, a little bit of Vientos, a little bit of Beatty before he established himself, that's not optimal. That's not something David Stearns looks at and says, yeah, that's what I want. So to get to where he wants to get, he had to sift through some stuff that was not desirable. And here we are.
BT and Sal on the Fan will finish up with your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 1019 FM.
And talking to anybody who's ever played at a high level, including you, one of the biggest indicators of getting your ass whipped is those rushing yards.
That's exactly right.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Notre Dame is on the warpath. After the College Football Playoff Committee left the Irish out, they immediately turned down their bowl game offer. Yesterday, the Notre Dame AD lashed out at the ACC for supporting Miami. You get the feeling if they could actually play a game right now, they'd be a house on fire. Unfortunately, for the many Notre Dame fans, we'll have to wait till next year to see the Irish respond on the field. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Joe?
I started a woodworking business. I was able to build beautiful furniture, but had no handle on the business side of things, so quickly fell behind in my taxes. 1 year of being behind in taxes quickly turned into 5 years. I ended up owing almost $37,000.
Then Joe found Tax Relief Advocates.
I would hear ads for Tax Relief Advocates. One day it just clicked. This is my exact situation that I'm in. So I wrote down the number and called from the car when I got home that day. TRA saved me 99% of what I owed the IRS, and that brought a huge sense of relief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Joe did and call TRA for a consultation.
I'm really happy that I made that call, and I finally felt like I could breathe again.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-513-5321. 800-513-5321. That's 800-513-5321.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
FanDuel is the #1 sports book for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet does win. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/Boomer to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Hi, it's Andy in Stone Country. Steel Tools. Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select Steel Tools. Shop online or in store. There was a nice fresh top-off of natural snow for many mountains over the weekend, and now cold air locked in for the week. A powerful, productive stretch of snowmaking rolls in, helping mountain crews deliver us more trails every day. Camelback open and set to ride with 8 runs of machine groom snow going till 5 in the afternoon. Shawnee Mountain's already been open. They'll be back again Friday. The same for Mountain Creek, back for Friday skiing and riding into the weekend. Bel Air checks out 35 runs today and 11 miles of terrain. At Gore, plenty of snowmaking as they're expanding terrain into Lower Sunway and Pete's Paradise. They have 16 runs open at Gore. Whiteface fired up for packed powder and over 40 trails. Killington with over 60 runs.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
More at snowcountry.com.
Tune into the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
This winter is shaping up to be a harsh, snowy season. So take control of the roads with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services with your purchase of Bridgestone Blizzak tires. For the guaranteed best deal on Bridgestone Blizzak tires with the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's call of the day brought to you by our good friends at Edison Heating and Cooling. They are New Jersey's heating experts. Trey is calling from Morristown, New Jersey. What's up, Trey?
This is a complete and utter disaster here. Maybe he didn't want to be here, but Steve Cohen right now is not the guy, and I've said this before, who was sipping Mai Tais in Maui telling John Heyman what's the heck the difference about a couple percentage points. We are letting guys go that we shouldn't let go, and I've tried to be positive this whole time, but I'm starting to feel like this was all a big masquerade so Uncle Stevie could get his casino. Stearns, you're on watch now. Everybody's going to hate you. So make some moves and make it happen because this is pathetic.
Jeff is in Oceanside. Jeff?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm not good. I'm very, very upset. Why do the Mets have this problem not keeping fan favorites, successful players? He didn't get 6 years. He didn't get 7 years. He got 3 years. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know what? Part of going to a game is like liking the players you want to see. That's part of the entertainment. I'm flabbergasted. I'm pissed off, and I'm mad, and it's ridiculous. I don't like Stearns. They better sign Alonso today. Give him the Schwarber deal. That's a fair deal. Just do it. You know what? The fans like their players. The fans like going there, seeing the players they want to root for.
Yeah, but the fans can't keep watching losing baseball. To me, that's the bottom line. And I think both those calls, if I'm not mistaken, were before the details came out that the Mets went to 3 years, $66 million for Diaz with the wiggle room to go more. So this was not about the Mets saying, screw you, Edwin, we're moving on. This was not about them saying we're not looking to commit to Diaz for whatever deal he got. Diaz apparently just wanted the Dodgers for whatever reasons. Maybe we'll find out in the coming days. But my energy is negative toward Diaz in this situation, not toward the Mets. It will be toward the Mets if they don't do what they need to do to build this team up to be a legitimate World Series contender. But we're just getting started here in this offseason. Not great, but a part of me just says it's not their fault in this particular case.
And you say not great, not their fault. I would say not complete. That's what really matters.
Yeah,
not even close to being complete, actually.
What if they went and got Skubal? I mean, is everybody going to be, oh, Stern sucks and this and that? I mean, what if they go and get Suarez or make a trade for Peralta and McGill from the Brewers? There's a lot of possibilities. Still could bring Pete Alonso back. The one thing that they can't do now is replace Pete's power with Schwarber.
You just beat me to it. I was going to go right there. That's one thing that's off the table, and that is potentially very problematic if Pete's not back with the Mets.
Which I guess if you combine that with Diaz, but they could still build already Williams is here. You could go get another bullpen arm. The bullpen can be still very good. Matter of fact, I would bet right now on December 9th, this dark day in Mets history. Is it December 9th, actually? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I would bet that the Mets bullpen is going to be way better next season than it was this season. I feel comfortable saying that.
It can't be worse. I hope so. Jeez, it was the worst bullpen I've ever seen outside of Diaz.
But you're losing Diaz, and then people, oh, my God, how are we going to replace him? They will have a better bullpen than they had this past season. Now the question is, what are they going to do to upgrade the rotation, and what are they going to do to make the lineup better?
Well, okay, along the lines of that question, the almost $70 million that they just signed on Edwin Diaz, I mean, how much? I think a lot of people just now maybe a little bit more for Pete, but maybe a little bit more from Bellinger.
Yeah, go get Bellinger.
Maybe a little bit more. Maybe you actually really jump in face first or do a cannonball into the Kyle Tucker pool.
Go get Tucker.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Put on the big boy pants. Move shoulder to left, put Tucker in right.
Yeah.
It's Steve Cohen, King Cohen of the Mets. John is in Fairfield, Connecticut. What's up, John?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, guys. I'm a very disappointed Mets fan. I just don't understand. When Cohen came to the Mets, he said we were shopping at Tiffany's. And when Stern came, we were going to be very disciplined and not give away our future and not give away our young talent. But this is just cash for two players, as the other callers have said, that we love. For Diaz, Tommy Trumpets, for Alonso, they could give the cash. And what type of message are we sending to other free agents? We're going to nickel and dime you after you give your blood, sweat, and tears and lose you over $3 million? This guy's going to make a ton of money.
No, John, they didn't lose Diaz over $3 million. Diaz never went back to them when they said they had wiggle room to go higher.
Yeah, but they could have negotiated and said, we're not going to let you walk. You know, if you just absolutely don't want to be a Met, that's one thing.
Well, hold on, John, you've got to factor that in. I think that now I don't think that he disdains the Mets here, but it seems to me like he really wasn't very interested in having continuous dialogue to try to give himself a better chance to stay. What does that tell you? Common sense.
Don't know, and maybe you're right on that. I don't know. But, what about Alonso, man? It's just money. The guy wants to be a Met. Could we pay the guy up front, make it nice and easy so other people see us spending the cash and want to come here? We got to make it miserable for the guy so he comes with a bad taste in his mouth, even if we keep him. I think it's bad business.
Well, John, you can't, and thank you for the call. While I don't disagree with your premise on Alonso, you can't say that the Mets operate like they don't want to spend cash. Look at their payroll. They just gave Soto the richest contract in the history of sports. Period. End of story. That's how the Mets operate. So where do you get the idea that, this is how we operate? Who's going to want to come here? Come on. It's always about show me the money. Show me the money. And the Mets and Steve Cohen have done that. They just do it in players that they believe are worth it. And they would have done it with Diaz. The Mets will always pay market value for players that they want. They thought DeGrom got more than what they wanted to pay. He went elsewhere. They're going to do the same thing with Pete Alonso. They have their line in the sand. This is what we value him at. If he could get better elsewhere to a number we don't feel comfortable going, he's going to go. But if the market says this and we're comfortable here, we're going to bring him back just like they would have with Diaz. For whatever reason, it seems Diaz didn't want to be here. He wanted to be a Dodger instead.
That's my first takeaway. All right, so listen, I don't know how much of the money or not the inability, because Cohen can certainly afford it, but the unwillingness to maybe go above and beyond this offseason for the Mets. I don't know how much of that, if any, is connected to Juan Soto's monstrous deal from a year ago. But let me present to you an alternate universe where you didn't get Juan Soto last year, which I know meant so much perceptually. I not just the player. I know I get that. But just say Soto, and even if he didn't stay with the Yankees, he became a Dodger. I'm not even making this a Yankee Met thing. Soto out of New York. Would you rather have that? Would you rather have Soto and then take your chances what remains this offseason, or no Soto, Pete back at first, Tucker on the team, Diaz back in the bullpen, and Michael King?
No, I'd rather
have Soto. That's a starting point.
Yeah, I'd rather have Soto myself.
Okay.
I want Soto and build around everything else. Me, personally. That's the guy I got you.
I figured you'd say that because I know how deeply, how much.
I take a blowtorch to everything else.
I know.
He's the guy I want to build around.
Understood.
I love his work ethic, his attitude, his sack, everything about him. I love Soto. I'm built. His star power. They need that. They needed a guy like that.
I knew your answer, right? I just present that there could have been a roadmap to having a better team.
Yeah, but you kept
without Soto.
But you kept all the guys that have been here that have been losing for a while.
Yep. Yeah, but by now, no, because Nimmo under this equation, this fictitious conversation aspect here, Nimmo's still gone. I would have retained Pete. But
Pete,
I'm giving
Diaz.
you Tucker. I'm giving you Pete, Tucker.
But maybe they could get it. I'd rather have Soto than Tucker. And I still think they could get Pete back. And Michael King.
I can see it. Okay, there you go.
I think when we see the finished product to what the Mets are doing as we go to spring training in February, whatever it may be, I think fans are going to be happy about it. That's where I firmly believe. Bob is calling from Los Angeles. What's up, Bob? What's going on with this? What's up, Bob?
I'm a Dodger fan, and I've been texting my friends all morning ecstatic. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You just lost your best player to your rival for money, and you didn't give him a fourth year? What are you guys talking about?
How old are you, Bob?
What are you talking about?
Bob, how old are you?
First of all, he's not the best player, number one. Number two...
He's not your best. He's not your MVP from last year?
No, he's not. Bob, do you watch the Dodgers or Mets?
I have cable, I watch both.
Okay, well, then you should know that Edwin Diaz was not the Mets' most valuable player a year ago.
Who is?
Pete Alonso? Juan Soto? You want to pick one of those two guys?
Edwin Diaz is the best closer in baseball. You just lost him to a rival.
Who was your?
You guys
the Dodgers
have no
aren't a
idea
rival.
what you're talking about.
The Dodgers. Well, first of all, you don't even know what we're talking about. What are you talking about? I'm confused. What do you think we're talking about?
I think you're equivocating, saying, "Oh, it's not so bad. We lost him. We lost her." You lost the belle of the offseason to the rival who's beating
Bob,
you.
the Dodgers aren't the Mets' rival, you knucklehead.
I thought that was the Giants.
Hey, Bob, who was the Dodgers closer last year?
We needed one.
Who was the Dodgers closer last year?
Well, if you had watched, it was by committee.
Who was it, Bobby?
Regular season, Roki in the offseason.
Right.
Okay.
And you still won a World Series. The defense rest. For Bob, who seems to be hard-headed and not understanding it, you don't need a closer to go out there and win the World Series. The Dodgers did it last year without having a closer. You signed Tanner Scott, who was supposed to be great. He couldn't even make the postseason roster. Good God. Good luck with Edwin. That's all I'll say.
And by the way, in terms of the Met-Dodger rivalry, I don't even have a dog in the fight. I was this close to just having you tag me in and just verbally destroy that guy.
Were we on the same page right there?
Yeah. I was going to...
I'm sorry. You should have taken over.
I was foreign object, top rope, chair... post. I mean, bell by the scorer's table. There was a part of me, for a lot of reasons, that was very close to bludgeoning that guy on the air. Verbally, of course. In a good-natured way, of course, Sal.
I was taking that personally.
I don't blame you.
You guys, this. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
Go back to Los Angeles.
Do you guys know Michael Marino at all? Do you trust him at all?
Michael Marino, Danny's brother, no?
I don't know who that is.
Don't know.
He's saying that the Mets submitted an offer to Kyle Schwarber yesterday, 3 years, 120.
Oof, Mets are pinching pennies all of a sudden here.
I just saw this. So what does he do? Michael Marino. What is he again? That's the MLB he writes.
Yeah.
You
is
gotta be careful.
National MLB reporter, according to him.
Okay.
$40 million a year?
How many
Did you say
followers
three
does he
for
have?
120? Is that what you said?
He's got 14K. I know. It's not big.
If you said 3 for 120.
Yes.
I mean, you know,
if you think of that, if you think of Pete Alonso, they've offered Pete Alonso 3 for 100-ish.
Yeah, wow, $40 million a year for Schwarber is insane. I love the guy. That's crazy.
Last night, the Mets submitted an offer. This is Michael Marino he has Marino MLB. I'm not sure who he is or a trusted source. All right, let's just take it for a second here. Last night, the Mets submitted an offer, 3 years, 3-year, $120 million range for Schwarber. Okay. It's unclear if this was their final offer. That's a nothing report. I need a little more concrete than,
Michael Marino?
Well, yes. All due respect. I mean, and then
Danny's cousin.
At least say what it was, not we're unsure if that was.
But in his defense, sometimes you don't always know. Like you get the general, hey, it was 3 years, around 120. So I mean, if it's real, and I'm not saying it's not, and I'm not saying that I catch my last dying breath on that report.
And
but
Schwarber ended up getting.
Sometimes you just get parameters.
What did he get again? 5
for 150.
Right, 5 for 150.
So the Mets were willing to give him 40, and the Phillies gave him 30.
Reportedly,
reportedly for sure.
Right, but they gave him 2 more years.
I know the extra 2 years, but then again, if you're Schwarber and you put up 3 monster years, now you're rolling the dice because now you're in that 37ish range, and you're probably not getting 3 years after that. I don't know. It's interesting.
My thing is, if they offered him that,
what are they going to offer Pete?
Well, what is the offer that they were at with Pete?
What do you think? What's your instinct?
Probably similar. Maybe 1 more year. Although No. I was going to say maybe 1 more year and less per year.
So maybe 4 years for about 135-ish.
Or maybe 3 for, 100.
The Pete just signed. Is getting old, man.
Does Steve Cohen have money?
Come on, Hoff.
Yeah, right.
More on that on the Rico. And much more.
table.
Much more tonight on Baseball Night in New York at 6 o'clock and Sports Night at 11.